feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
What's going on, FM fam? Y'all know what it is. Big Friday. Friday. Friday for most, Thursday for me. Yeah, I gotta go in tomorrow. Man. Can I get a mic check, please? I forgot all about that. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2. Let's go. Let's get it. How's everybody's day? How's everybody's Friday? Mic check, mic check. Cool. Supra. Appreciate you, big dog. All right. So what do y'all think the title's about? What do y'all think the title's about? Okay. Choosing a shop to work at. What do y'all think that's about? Oh, good. Mic check. Thank you. Everybody, cool. So yes, happy Friday, everybody. Y'all know today in the dealership world, y'all know today was end of the month. End of the month means crazy stuff happens at the shop. Trying to get everything we can out for the month, or if not out, but finished up. Okay, just like everywhere else, we have to meet a quota. Not have to, but there's a quota that gets set for the shop to reach every month. And if those numbers are not met, then you know the big bosses don't get their bonuses. Y'all know how it goes. But yeah, choosing a shop to work at, dealerships or independent shops. What do y'all think? What do y'all think is going on here? Well, this goes for the newbies coming in. If you're looking to get into the field, should you go to a dealership or should you go to an independent shop? Uh, you know, what are the benefits of each one? What are the cons of each one? Or should I say, what are the pros of each? What are the cons of each? There's always a juggle, or I don't want to say a fight, but an argument between dealerships and independent shops. Which one's better? You know, there. If y'all are mechanics, y'all know how it is. Now, I will say this: times like this, and this is just my opinion, in times like this where it's slow at dealerships, uh, I feel like it's best to be at a dealership. I mean, a independent shop. Why? Answer is simple. Dealerships take in one manufacturer, Okay, one brand of vehicles like us, Nissan. We only take in Nissans. Independent shops, they take in whatever. They don't turn down anything. So that, pros and cons right there. Warranty work at a dealership can be rough sometimes. Okay. At an independent shop, I don't know how y'all's warranty goes. Y'all can let me know down in the comments. Do y'all offer warranty? Is there a warranty set in place? Or do y'all charge the customer over again to do some of the repairs? I'm so dealership, right? I'm so dealership, but talking to everybody on the stream, on chat, being having the followers I have, I've opened my eyes up to independence. Um, because there are great independent shops. And I know I have some buddies in the independent field or in the independent area. They have mom and shops, they own their own businesses, and they're doing good. They are doing real good. Um Now there's this conspiracy, right, about dealerships. I don't know if y'all saw my short on that. Okay, somebody was calling me saying that dealerships have it easy. And yeah, that was not the case. He said we have it easy. I was like, bro, why don't you come and work for a dealership if it's so easy, right? It's not easy getting paid half of the labor time that you would if it was a customer paid uh repair. And we have to prove to the manufacturer, Nissan, Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Ford, Chrysler, whoever it may be, the technician and the dealership has to prove to said manufacturer that this part failed or that this is going on with the vehicle. We can't just say, hey, transmission is acting funny, it's shifting weird. We're gonna slap a transmission in it and call it a day. Nope. It does not fly like that. Okay, dealerships normally are independent. That sounds weird, right? They are franchised. They are owned by um certain groups that buy a portion of, not necessarily a portion, but they buy into the manufacturer. Okay, they have to meet certain standards to put the manufacturer's name onto their building. Okay, um, like us, we do not work for Nissan. Nissan is not our employer. Nissan is the manufacturer that we specialize in. I know there's a bunch of people in here that come from different manufacturers, and I'm pretty sure they're the same, right? Uh who is it? A lot of people may not know, but is it Warren Buffett? Yes, Warren Buffett. He owns dealerships. He owns a bunch of dealerships throughout the United States. Don't believe me? Look it up. You will find out that Warren Buffett has a lot of dealerships. Um, does that mean he works for Nissan? No. Or not Nissan. I am tripping. Not Nissan. Does that mean he works for those manufacturers? No, because then he wouldn't be able to uh own all the dealerships that he does. He owns Chevy dealerships, Ford dealerships, Honda dealerships, Toyota dealerships, all sorts of different dealerships. And independents, they normally, I don't know, what do y'all consider independent? Goodyear, Firestone. I mean, those are franchises too, right? I believe. I don't know. But then you have your mom and pop shops that are independent. Um, so when it comes to choosing where you want to work, what should you look at? What should you look at? Should you be able to talk to the technicians? Okay, a seasoned mechanic would hopefully talk to some of the mechanics where he's applying to have a feel for what's going on in the shop. Is there enough work to sustain a living? If you're new coming in, uh, I would ask to see like hours reports. Like, hey, how many hours do your guys usually make from low to high. Don't just ask for 1 week, ask for multiple weeks. Ask for about 3 months worth. That will tell you whether that shop brings in some customers or not. Ask about our ASCs. Do they mean anything? Is there a chance to move up? Whole bunch of different things. Okay. When y'all chose to work at the shop y'all work at, what influenced y'all to start there? I'll start it off by saying what influenced me. Well, I had always wanted to work at a dealership. Okay. My first dealership that I wanted to work at it was called Kim Hansen Chevrolet in Burley, Idaho. Ever since I was like 5, 6, 7 years old. That's where we bought my Silverado, my OBS. That was the only dealership I knew of. I wanted to work there. I knew I wanted to work on cars since I was younger. Fast forwarding, I wanted to work at a dealership down the street from where I lived. And I actually applied there when I got out of tech school. But then one of my buddies was like, hey, I'm working at this Nissan dealership. They need a position filled. They pay this much to come on and this and that. They send you to tech school, their own schooling, and so on and so forth. I knew nothing about Nissan. I knew nothing about the field. I just knew I wanted to work there. I knew a little bit about the field. So that's what influenced me to start at Nissan. Now, I did get my chance at Chevrolet. Again, I went reapplied at the place that I actually wanted to be at, and I found out it wasn't for me. Y'all heard the story. So yeah, what influenced y'all to work where y'all are at, whether it's independent, whether it's heavy duty, and stuff like that. Now, with that being said, we're gonna jump into the comments and check this out, guys. We got a member in the chat. Member in the chat. Brand new member. Yes, guys, y'all can join up if y'all want to. So John, he has priority comments. Okay. Priority comments. So with that being said, I'm gonna jump in right here to one of them. You know me, I like independent. We have 3-year warranty, plus we do warranty comp, and even dealership warranties. We do it all. Y'all do dealership warranties. How does that work out for y'all, John? How does that work? We are a mom and pop franchise. Exactly. See? So like I said, we got plenty of people in here that come from both sides of the spectrum. All right, John, thank you for joining the membership. Why does that? Huh. Oh, y'all see, okay, it doesn't show on where is it? Right here? Next to his name on StreamYard, but it does show in the chat. Y'all see that FM next to his name? That means he is an official FM fam member. So now I gotta put in some work and start, giving those perks out. John, do you have a special emoji? You should have some special emojis. I don't know how it works, to be honest. But yes, you should have some special emojis. Now, let's start from the top. All right, guys. First one in here. Yes, Supra notification gang. Yes, maybe, hopefully. I hope it was notification. I hope the notification got sent out to you, bro. Can I get a oh yeah? What's going on, Barry? Oh yeah, super with it. Trans King Chris JRS, what's going on, my dude? What up, Fluffy TBSS? What's going on, TBSS? Sup, Fluffy? New member, Mato. What's up, Fluffy? What's going on, DLC? Sometimes it be like that. Be like what, Barry? Choosing different shops. Nah, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. Not even April Fools. Do y'all play into April Fool's stuff? I thought about doing April Fools, but with my luck, I'll speak that stuff into existence. Hell nah. Killwool, Big Fluffy, what's going on, Dom? How's it going, FM fam? How's everybody doing? How's everybody's Friday? What's up, Chris? Chris JRS. Sub super mic check. All good. Mic check. Thank you. Mic good. Oh, are you leaving, JK? No, I'm not leaving. Guys, I can't. I've put in too much time where I am. I know y'all saw the video the other day. That was me speaking from like realness. No, I'm not leaving nowhere. Um, I will go through thick and thin at that dealership unless I am forced to leave. That's pretty much the only way I'm going to get out of that place. I'm what they call a lifer. I'm there for life. Um, Not so much that I'm comfortable there. I guess you could say I'm comfortable, but uh, it hasn't treated me so bad to where I need to leave. And what's the point of me leaving that place if this is going on everywhere throughout the city, throughout the hell, might even be the state? And in the comments, it looked like it was throughout the country. Yeah. What up, big dog? Happy Friday. What's going on, Nick? DLC, good afternoon. Hey, FM. Sergio, how's it going, bro? Thanks for being real. I may need your help on it. Holy crap. Cody, we might get some people up in here in a little bit. That may be helpful. I know nothing about an 87 Buick Park Avenue. Whoa. Were those the boats? Man, big dealerships like Toyota likes what I noticed. They like to take advantage of young apprentices. What do you mean by take advantage? What do you mean by take advantage? Because there's apprentices even at independent shops. Uncle Mark, how you doing? Uncle Mark. Hey Sergio. Hey Uncle Mark. Hey Sergio. Hey Uncle Mark. Wait, that was a duplicate comment. South Main auto repair is legit. It whoa, almost went down the wrong pipe. Um, does he own his own shop? I don't know. I've not really looked into him. Him or what's the other one? Pineapple Express Auto or Pineapple. I'm tripping. My biggest joy is almost no warranty work at my independent shop. We will warranty brake suspension parts and our own work was done with competent hands, but no recall work, no warranty time. Now, warranty work, recalls. Recalls are opportunity for upsells, guys. Upsells. Yes, we might only get 2/10 to do a recall, like that key switchblade. But if the vehicle has some mileage on it, okay, those go back to 2015, I believe, with the switchblades. Those vehicles have mileage. That's a good opportunity for some upsells. And then right here, yes, John became a member. Hell yeah. John, did you do you have those special emojis? Let me see. Let's see. I know he said I'll check right there. Mine is a big story. Hey, well, we're gonna open up the stream, John. So hold tight. We are mom and pop. Yeah. Um, Independent has the pros and cons, but I do believe a con is they want to have the best prices versus other places nearby. However, not all shops are honest. That is very true. That is very true. How do you know whether a shop is being honest with their work or not? You just don't know. And this goes for customers too. You don't know. Okay. Um dealerships do have special equipment that can get to answers faster. They have all the resources versus independent. They got to go out there and resource it via all data, via Mitchell, via I don't know. I don't know what all y'all use. Y'all talked about it before, but man, I be forgetting. So yeah. What's going on, Chaz? How you doing? You know me. I like okay, yes, we read that. How long have you been there, John? Curious. Where are mom and pop? Fluffy, come over here because CP got me locked out of the chat. What? Why? What'd you do to him? Oh hell. Oh man, what happened? What did you do, ICT car guy? Your 87 Buick is older than most of the guys. I bet the way to hell nah, man. It's got what 5 years on me? Woo, man. Finally got in touch with someone at a Nissan dealer in town. So just oh snap, super about to freaking go hammer time on all my videos if he gets if he gets hired at a Nissan dealer. Mine is a big story. Why I'm yes, we have time in about 30 minutes when we start bringing everybody on. My graduation car was an 85 Buick Century, got a fresh engine and lasted me all through the college. All the way through college. Oh, yeah, those them Buicks, man, they ran. They ran. Of course, what is Buick? It is a GM. Although I shouldn't be rooting for GM as I'm a Nissan tech. But you love what you love, right? Need to get on this membership. Yes, Chris. My job chose me. Went in as a parts rep, got asked to help out a tech on an evacuator, and 2 days later I became a field tech. Oh, snaps. Yeah, so they just said, "Hey, buddy, come over here. We like what you did. You're hired. Nah, no questions asked. You're hired. You start right now." I'm not giving the join list for membership. What the hell? I've heard. I don't know why. I don't know why. It is weird. Um, maybe it's your app. I don't know. Yours have the old 307. Wait, they were V8s. Whoa, whoa. I'll check. Yeah. Did do you have them? You should have two. You should have two emojis. Oh yeah. Uh, I was refreshing your page and got in before the countdown with Barry. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, damn it, they're already in here. I don't know why it lets y'all come in before I even go live, like before I even hit go live. I was like, oh shoot. uh no, it had the Master 4-cylinder TBI injection engine that was in all the mail trucks at the time. 50 yard. Wow. All the mail trucks had that same engine. Do they still have that same engine? I'm new to the field and I'm in school still. I'm a lube tech at Toyota and been working for only a year, but I feel like I'm working. My guy, Markel Webb. Uh, First off, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live. Um, you're still in school. What school you going to? And lube tech at Toyota. So you're at a good spot. It's just tough right now. It's just tough right now. We're going through a hard time, maybe possibly a recession. Ooh, that's scary. But yes, hang tight, bro. Hang tight. How old are you, by the way? By the way, because it is hard when you already have a family and a life getting into this field. I'm not even gonna BS on that. Uh, Starting in this field is a young man's uh deal. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, it's hard. It is very hard. Essentially, my mom had that in her 89 grand. Damn. Toyota is the superior brand. Exactly. Exactly what I'm saying. What if I win the lotto and open a performance shop in Tejas and I offer you salary 100K? Would you leave them? I don't want to wrench. If I do that, I don't want to wrench. I'd be a foreman, right? Because I don't know too much about performance stuff. So I feel like 100K, and then I can't step up to the plate. I see an engine done maybe once every 2 months. Damn. We currently have. I'm not even gonna say. Yeah, but damn, that's not very much. What's up with the Buick? Have one in my stall right now. What year? What year, John? That Park Avenue is good. Probably has the 3.8 motor. 3.8. Yeah. I don't remember what motor he said it had. I mean, like when there's a big dealership like Toyota and you are an apprentice program, they know you are knowledgeable. They will delay your. Not true. Not true. I mean, so dealerships, it costs dealerships a lot of money to send people out to training. So if they're gonna invest in you, they want to make sure you're gonna stay, you're gonna stick, because they don't want to send you out, get your training, get you all trained up, and then guess what? Oh, I'm moving on. I'm moving somewhere else. I've seen that happen a lot. and it hurts the dealership actually because they're focused on you. They're trying to train you up, and then you burn them. Dealership doesn't want to get burnt like that. Meanwhile, CBTs are a daily occurrence at a Japanese at a whoa, who Barry, we're starting to get a hold of that. I'm not seeing that many CBTs as much. I mean, look at all the newer models. Uh, when's the last time you saw a 19 Ultima get a CVT? When's the last time you saw a brand new Pathfinder get a CVT? Actually, we don't even have CVTs in the brand new Pathfinders no more. Yep, we do recalls as well. No emojis yet. Wow. What's going on with the emojis then? Or maybe, you know what? I need to make a second channel, join membership, and study it, because maybe I could join somebody else's. I don't know. Uh, I don't I don't know how all this works. Sucks. But yeah, I have two emojis listed somewhere. All this upsell talk, you sound like a salesman. I'm not the salesman, but that's how mechanics actually obtain work, is to recommend stuff to do on your vehicle, whether you're independent or you're a dealership. Because let's face it, if you only do what the customer came in for, you will not make money. There's no way, no how. And then customers, if also wait, let me back up a little bit. The liability technicians have, mechanics have in this field. If we see something, let's say we see hell, a ball in the tire, right? A ball in the tire. They leave your dealership 2 miles down the road. Boom, it blows. Now this is for independent shops too. I don't know, maybe, um, but it blows, right? Causes an accident. Somebody dies. They just left your shop. Okay, your service records, and you just looked at that vehicle and you said everything was fine. No, ma'am, there was nothing wrong with your vehicle. You are sound. You're either you or that shop is in a lot of trouble because you literally just had that vehicle in your shop. Now, some things are inevitable. You can't catch everything, but that's one of the liabilities we have. Toyota is an amazing brand. I love Toyotas, but if you're a good apprentice, it will keep you at that wage for more. Happened to me. Reason why I'm a Freightliner now. Now you can also ask them for a raise. Like, hey man, I've been an apprentice for 8 months, right? I've been an apprentice for 8 months. I'm not really talking to my mentor about, I don't have to go to him for much. Give me a shot. Let me go on my own. Give me a raise. Give me something, right? Threaten them. They don't like people leaving, especially if you're good. 316, yep, 38. Oh, yep, 38. If front wheel drive. I did 5 years at an independent shop, then 19 for government shops. Now my side hustle. Now my side hustles are my main work. Government jobs suck. Soul sucking experience. Never want a boss ever again. Wow. Wow. So how's that working out for you, brother Rudluck? Uh, like, do you get a lot of work? Wow. Nothing. He has 3-day wait, but just subscribed 2 days ago. Oh, so okay, so you just subscribed. Nothing. He has 3-day wait. Oh, okay. So we do that. We do that. I have a 2 hour, right? Because I don't want somebody that just subscribed, right? Oh, Fluffy's live. I hate him, right? I don't want them to come in. Damn, I'm giving away secrets, because what if they see this and they're like, oh, you know what? I'm subscribe right now. So they won't subscribe to you, but they'll keep an eye on you and want to come in and talk smack. And nah, we ain't letting that happen. So that's why ICT. I've been at this shop for about 6 weeks. Benefits Day one, nice benefits. Nice. They offer 401k and all that stuff. That's something I didn't talk about either. Benefits. See who offers benefits and what kind of benefits and how much they pay into certain stuff. Oh, snaps. Super, you might be going Nissan. Whoa, that's a big jump. That's a good, smart jump. Possibly, I got an Infinity QX 50. I got front struts and rear strut bearings, bushings. Also got to replace a mirror motor. Mirror motor. You're doing just the motor, not the whole mirror, bro. We do. Something wrong with that mirror? Boom, assembly. We don't try to break something down and assemblies. Uh, yep. Started on those generation GMs. Barry, I used to think that too until I saw that you have to bend the inner body on the Tacomas to remove the. Whoa, hey, but Chris, some of those Toyotas, um, the control arms, what is it, the Camry? Like early 2000, man, they pay like almost 10 hours to do control arms. They take like an hour maybe. Yeah, it's crazy. They're just as easy as ours, but they pay a lot more. Puro pinche gravy. I'm young. I'm only 19 and I go to Gateway Technical College. Have you had prior experience to you going to this technical college? And do you have prior experience in the field? Like when you were 18? Oh, you probably started when you were 18, right? But more familiar with 31 and 3800. 3800, 3100. Waste Spark Systems. Done a few 31 and 3800 head gaskets. Easy to do. I've got a 2005 now, but I have worked on several Buicks. I guess bad luck. Yeah, Pathfinder Ditch CVT. Yes, sir. We are now using the 9-speed CZF transmission. I do those Chrysler filters with a pair of wrenches and mini vice grips. Boy, did those brake lines look. Oh my God, brake lines. Oh no. Crunchy brake lines at that. We have a DVI report. We have DVI reports we have to follow top to bottom. Helps make sure we didn't miss a thing. Video and pics added. Yeah. Oh, okay. So y'all DVI, I'm guessing that's an inspection program. Yeah, y'all do videos and pics as an independent. Wow, I'm amazed. We do videos currently. I don't know who all is following the video stuff, but yeah, we do videos, video multi-point inspections. I was emailed regarding a position in Austin, Texas that offered relocation. Oh shit. Damn, they Supra. Do you have your stuff just countrywide? Yeah, that's what happened to me, brother. Level 1 Toyota apprentice. Ask every 6 months for a raise, and when I'm going to school 4 years later, boom, I left and did the same thing to my old buddy. I don't know, bro. Damn. Every 6 months, ask for a raise when I'm going to school 4 years later. Were you at school for 4 years? Maybe, man. I don't know. I don't know. That's weird. That's weird that you could be employed somewhere for so long and be an apprentice for so long. Shep, what's going on, Shep? How you doing? I'm sure you'll have a good amount of clients if you go independent, Fluffy, because of your following. Possibly, but I don't have anywhere to work out of. That's the thing. And I'm so spoiled. I don't want to be on my back no more. I know y'all guys work on y'all's back and stuff, but man, stuff hurts. That fuel line repair was not really the proper way if you are at a shop, since I am just a guy working on my own stuff. I can get away with that. Man, I've done some sketchy stuff in my times. From doing a power steering hose repair on a pressure line using barb fittings and fuel line hose or transmission hose. Yeah. Not at the shop though, not at the shop. So this was while I was in high school, right? So we had this Mercury Cougar. It was like, oh man, DLC, if you're in here, I don't know if you remember, but it's Crazy's mom's um Mercury Cougar, and we were using it for a little bit. Well, out of nowhere, boom, Power steering done, gone, fluid everywhere. Don't know what the hell's happening. DLC took it in for he took it to Firestone. The he took it to Firestone. Okay, a big company. You know what they told him? So that the crank, the power steering line, maybe it was a return hose. I don't remember. But anyways, it was a power steering line that ran. It was a hard line that ran from the front of the subframe to the back to the power steering. Rack and pinion. The crank was touching it and rubbed a hole through the hose. So it started leaking, or the line, it started leaking. Firestone told us somebody lowered the engine, put aftermarket mounts to lower the engine to change the center of gravity to race it. We're like, okay, so how do we fix that? Oh, well, you got to put new motor mounts in it. So me, I'm a senior in high school, right? I was like, man, forget that. You know what? I'm gonna take it to my shop. I'm gonna ask the teacher, hey, can we get this car up in the air and see what's going on with it? So we see where the crank is rubbing on the power steering line. And I'm looking, and guess what I find? I find a broken motor mount. I think it bolted to the trans. Okay. And so that engine actually, it was a support mount. So that mount caused the engine to drop down because it was broken. That's what caused it. Nobody lowered that damn engine. Even though they said somebody put aftermarket mounts on there, which caused it, they were wrong. You had a 17-year-old kid diagnosed better than Firestone. I thought that was hilarious. So therefore, I cut that hard line, cut it, and I put barb fittings on there and ran that rubber hose. It ate through one more time, but that's because I routed it in such a way that it was gonna rub through again. I was like, oh wait, hold on, let me reroute it. So I routed it a different way until that vehicle got sold. There was no more power steering issue, and it still had that broken motor mount on it. It's crazy. Ended up driving that thing, and yeah. So I don't know if y'all could see this, but I actually have a picture of this mount. So 17-year-old me, y'all see that? Y'all see where it's broke? 17-year-old me diagnosed that power steering issue. Yeah, I was proud of myself. I was so happy. Better than Firestone. That's about the sketchiest I've ever done, man. All I can say is that when I'm at in Canada is where I'm at in Canada is very popular for dealerships taking advantage of apprentices, and it sucks. Be different where y'all. Oh, so you're in Canada, Canada. Wow. Yeah, it might be different up there then. Wow. 'Cause I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine, bro. What's up, Fluffy man? What's going on, Turbo Tai Tai? Turbo Tai Tai. How are you doing, bro? How are you doing? Hey, Fluffy, more torque wrench clicks on all of my car bolts except valve cover. Weird. What? My torque wrench clicks on all of my car bolts except my valve cover gasket bolts. Weird. What do you mean, Adventure? Whoa, what do you mean? Actually, hold up, guys. Whoa, I gotta jump down here. $10 donation. He remembers. He remembers because I fixed it. Me in high school diagnosed it better than somebody at Firestone. Oh, I was so happy. Like I said, thank you DLC for the $10 donation. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. I got a buddy that runs his mechanic shop out of a storage unit he has booked all month. Pretty new at it too. Out of a storage unit. Wow. Does he have a lift in there? Wow. A good question to ask during interviews. What is your retention rate and why did the last person leave? Asked to see the shop, asked to talk to text. Yes, talk to the text, talk to the text, talk to the text, talk to the text because a manager can talk it up so great just to get another body into the shop. We get 401k health and even supplemental life, accident, cancer care, and short term, long term. Damn. Do y'all own multiple shops? Whoa, 401k health. That is good benefits. Bring your own boss is the way to go. Oh, I read bring your own boss. No, being your own boss is the way to go. Yes. That's for people who don't like to work for anybody. I understand. uh Customers even have access to the DVI report so they can get updates with what's going on with their vehicle. That's a sophisticated independent shop. John, okay, you. I'm doing all right, Ship. I'm doing all right. Definitely today's been a better day than the past few days. I'm a service advisor at a dealer, and there any are there any pet peeves? Mechanic. You know, you know, overpromised wait times, rushing the technician, pre-assigning certain texts. The list goes on and on and on. You know, you know, you know. Thank you for joining the chat, though. I got so many benefits at my Nissan. It's crazy. The same. We get a lot, including a bonus program, a Christmas bonus program. You're good, man. If it works out and don't leak, it's fine for now. I replaced all the fuel brake lines in my 2000 Honda Accord. Boy, that was a pain in the not easy. Oof. And I believe you're up there in the Rust Belt too, right? I know 100% my shop is a whoa. Yeah, super snitching on this dealership all the way. Had me do an Alfa Romero rotors resurface that didn't need it. Customer didn't understand sport brakes can cause squeaking. So were they drilled and slotted rotors? How does one cut drilled and slotted rotors? I heard it's possible, but never done it. So far no leaks. Been a few months. Video just came out. I have videos pre-scheduled 2 weeks. You have that many videos, Uncle Mark? Damn, I'm struggling to put out one a day. Wow. Saludos from Fort Worth. I'm going to be at the Houston Raceway all day tomorrow. Hope you can make it. Bro, that is so far from me. Oh my god. What's going on over there? They are having the last HPT shootout here. HPT. That's HPT. HP tuners? Is that? Bro, damn. You said tomorrow, man. I work tomorrow, bro. Damn, that would have been a good event to go to. Hey, FM fam, if you're in the Houston area, come meet me. Yeah, that would have been cool, right? Damn. What? Okay. What's up, brother? I was on CPS live. Whoa, CPS. What happened with CPS? No, I'm just kidding. You're good. I know we go on at the same time. But yeah, thank you for coming in. What's up, Fluffy and fam? What's going on East Coast? Oh, we getting a CP raid or what? Fluffy, any tips on a 99 Infinity QX40 transfer case removal? First off, Nissan. I know Nissan Infinity, but Nissan, uh, 2010 and up Nissan technician, and I don't even know what a QX40 is. Is it a car? Is it an SUV? I'm gonna sound so dumb, but I don't know what the hell a QX40 is. I'm assuming transfer case. Is it front wheel drive? Is it all wheel drive? Is it a 4x4? Transverse engine? I don't know. I wish I could help you, man. I can't. Sorry, bro. What is a QX40? Let me look this up because I don't freaking know. Let me see. QX OT. Um, a 99. Why is that not coming up? Uh, so it is, in fact, a Pathfinder, right? 1999. It's Infinity's Pathfinder. Yeah, it looks like it. Transfer case. I'd assume it's like everything else. It's a rear-wheel drive vehicle. I would assume it. You just got to drop. You got to, man. Swivels and wrenches and stubbies, and that's all I can say. Uh, Mario Bartolo, and good luck and have fun with it. Don't, if you get upset at it, every technician knows this. If you're struggling with something, walk away for a couple minutes, go get a drink, smoke a cigarette, and come back in a better mood. And normally things start to fall into place. I couldn't give you any advice on that because I've never worked on one, never seen one. Uh, it's hard for me to, yeah. My torque wrench clicks when it is at the torque I set it. I find it weird it doesn't work on my valve cover bolts, valve cover gasket bolts. I know why, because it's set too high, right? You're stripping them. Um, just snug those bolts up with a small ratchet. Mario, what's happening with the case? Sorry, I read it wrong. No, they weren't regular rotors. Well, that's why I'm saying. Like, yeah. Fluffy, answer. We doing this job. We doing this job. Daniel, is that the Daniel I know? Is that the Daniel that worked with me? What's his name? Daniel. Yeah, Daniel. Um, we doing this job this week. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Man, I don't know. Torque adapters. I mean, what is it that y'all are having issues with? Does this have the torsion rod suspension system? If it does, I don't even think you have to take that off. That bar, that cross member that holds those on. But if you do, man, just measure your height before taking them off. I think that bar, you can just unbolt it, take the tension off those rods, unbolt that cross member, and just let it hang. Um, and then pull the transfer case off. Man, I did an old Pathfinder before, similar four-wheel drive. I don't remember exactly how I did it though. I did the transmission on it. I don't remember, man. And that was early on, way early on, probably like 6 years ago. I'm trying to go out to Texas for Texas 2K. That's this month, right? Or no, in April. Maybe your torque wrench is not very accurate at those low values for valve cover bolts, so it don't click. It's a SUV, pretty much a Pathfinder 4x4. QX40 is a crossover. Uh, it's an SUV, a rear-wheel drive SUV, like the old uh Pathfinders, old style Pathfinders, like early 2000s. Tomorrow we'll be busy at home, full round brake job, pads, drums, brakes, left steer caliper, and right steer hub bearing. Then bleed brakes after, so about 6 hours of work at home. Oh shoot! So you got a side job. Nice, nice, nice pickup, bro. Damn. Last time I replaced my S10 brakes was in 2018. Wait, this is on your own vehicle, right? Or is it a side job? I tried on my lug nuts and it clicked. Maybe my valve cover are cursed. Maybe they're cross threaded. Maybe that. Oh man, 17 foot pounds on a valve cover bolt. I would 8 pounds, maybe 9 pounds. It's like the Rogue, I think. 99. 99. Chris, remember the Rogue came out in what? 2007? 2008? The QX40. Compact SUV Pathfinder. Compact. Was it a compact? I don't know. But it looked like old Montero Sports. That is weird. No, not Pathfinder. That would be the QX60. No, 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 no. 99. Way back when. Not today's times. Actually pull it up. Hold up. Wait, not invite. Oh, too early for that. No, it's not early. We need to start. Yeah. Share screen. Share screen. Infiniti QX40. Look at that dinosaur right there. Look at them. Them old ones. Old Pathfinders. These Pathfinders. Ah man, it had the VG33. I'm not a big fan of. Uh, so yeah, these things are old, old, old. Doing a starter on one of these on a 4-wheel drive is a pain in the butt. Pathfinder Frontier, it just sucks. I hate working on older vehicles. Why? Because everything breaks, everything is dirty, and I hardly do it. So if you hardly do something, then it takes you time because you don't know all the tricks to it. Both drive shafts need to come out, drain the fluid. Lots of PB blaster, maybe a torch, and variety of sockets tools. Mostly 10 mil, 15, 17. I think if I remember, the drive shafts may need Torx E sockets. John, sounds like you've done some. So one or two or something like that. When I snug my valve cover bolt, my valve cover was leaking. I had to tighten it further. Wow, what kind of vehicle is this? Avenger? One of the places I applied to want me to come in, not for an interview, but want me to do a water pump on some car to see how I work. Oh, I've heard of stuff like that. That's like evaluation. Wow. Transfer cases are easy on those for the most part. Yeah, like I don't remember if you need to drop the torsion member or not. Man, I don't remember. Water pump on I-35 advice. I-35. Are we talking Infinity again? Guys, I don't know. I What's an I-35? Ah, I googled it. I googled it. I know what I-35 is now. Boom. Right? Interstate 35 that goes from South Texas all the way to North Texas. Is that? Or are we talking about this one right here? Water pump. Water pump. There's a V6 model, maybe timing chain driven. You don't have to pull the front cover, but man, it can cause some issues, and then you will be forced to do the front cover, take off the front cover. Um, have patience with it. That's all I can say on the advice. And get a jack underneath that. Take off both motor mounts, 3 motor mounts actually, unbolt it. Or you can bring the front of the engine up. I think it's a V6. I'm not too sure. I am here. Turner, what's going on, Turner? Hello, everyone in the chat. If you do come, I'll be at the blackout. I'll be in a blackout 04 Tahoe. I have crappy signal right now. Oh man, bro, I wouldn't be able to make it, bro. I work tomorrow. I freaking work tomorrow. And Ruben, I didn't know you were in the H, bro. I was in the H last month, dude. What? Damn. Yeah, I was in the H for some training. Yes, this is. Oh man, I thought this was a side job, Justin. But anyways, have fun. It was a competitor of the Explorer. Exploder. How much does a front brake pad replacement job cost now? Les Schwab. Dude, I haven't heard that name in forever. Since I was in Idaho. Les Schwab. DLC, if you're still in here, wasn't Les Schwab the one that did the brakes on the Blazer, and then the brakes on the Blazer ended up being spongy, and they didn't know what the hell was going on with it. Although now I can say they probably got air in the system. Damn, and they didn't know what was going on with it. Les Schwab told me they charge $400 now. Sounds about right. Is this pads and rotors, or is this pads and resurfacing? Because let's say they're charging 150, a normal resurface brake job goes for uh 1.8, almost 2 hours. Some places charge 2 hours. So 150, that's um $300 plus the pads, which is probably another $50-$60 plus tax, plus shop supplies and fees. Yeah, 400 sounds about right. Sounds about right. 99. Okay, then. Yeah, Chris, way before our time, bro. Way before our time. Super not worth it because every vehicle make is different how they have their water pumps. I bet you an alternator. I put an alternator on PT Cruiser. I don't know. I don't know. I've never dug into it. Man, we'll ask JT. Where's JT at? Somebody go hit up JT and tell him we're live right now. I bet. Okay. Thinking of getting some tacos. Tacos, man. Taco King. Make sure you get me some too, bro. Have you ever had Romano's Pizza? What the is that, man? Turbo Tai Tai. Oh, wait. No, Turbo Tai Tai, you're in Cali. Uh, and I think you were talking to Chris, not me. Pathfinder, Explorer, S10 Blazer, and Wrangler Explorer was the only not advertised as an off-road SUV, but as a daily family vehicle. That's because the S10 Blazer was a beast. That's why. Those old Pathfinders were solid, bro. Solid. But I hated working on anything EGR. Get out of here. Now, when the Pathfinder and Frontier switched to non-EGI and went to the 3.5 engine, I was happy. I'll work on one of those. 96 Toyota Corolla DX. Yeah, I wouldn't put much torque on those. Hell no. Whoa. Yes, done several transport cases, even on the tracks. Just tracks has an all-wheel drive. Man, hold on. Our kicks needs an all-wheel drive system. That no, hell no. Forget I even said that. All-wheel drive vehicles can. No, get out of here. Not you get out of here, but all-wheel drive vehicles, man, I can't stand them. Infinity. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. Yeah, like I said, timing chain driven. Get that front of the engine jacked up. You may have to take the wiper cowl off so you could have more room. I don't know. All I can say is good luck, bro, and make sure you use Nissan RTV to resell any covers that you take off that are silicone. That Nissan RTV is bum. Avengers 34 in Wisconsin, it's anywhere from 300 to 450, and it's a lot cheaper if you do it yourself. Some late 90s Toyota Camrys require 33 foot-pounds. What size fasteners are they using? Because on a 10 mil, I would not. No, hell no. Let's hit that like button, everyone. Yes, please. Let's do that. Like, get the likes up. 31 viewers, and we got 15 likes. Oh, I know we could do better. I-35 Laredo, Texas damn, it goes all the way up there. Jeez, ICT, you know your highways. Freeway, interstate. On my S10, it's about 30 minutes, but mine are still valve covers. That's the way to go. Man, what's up with all this plastic stuff? Need one of those hats. Hey, soon, bro, soon. I should be releasing these. We got to see where the summer ends, or maybe I'll do one. Maybe I'll do one for a live giveaway, right? Yeah, we'll do another fluffy Mexicanic hat on a live giveaway. Jason, Andrew Flores, my dude, how's it going? How's it going over there at BMW, at your BMW independent shop? Yes, guys, Andrew specializes in BMW. He is a BMW tech, and like I said, independent but specialized independent. They do nothing but BMWs, and they are busy. So yeah, how's business over there, bro? Because I know throughout the city we're hearing that it's been slow. Just for brake pads and rotors resurfaced. Yeah, that resurface is probably what's gonna eat up some of this. But try knocking it out yourself, bro. It's fairly Breaks are fairly simple. Breaks are fairly simple. If a company wants you to come in and do work for them, they have to pay you. They have to pay you even if you it's for a job opportunity. So they're doing a like an evaluation. I've heard of that. I've heard Pet Boys doing that. They want to see how much you know, how instead of you just telling them, they want you to show them. And it's normally not on a customer's car, it's on their own vehicle. They'll be like, all right, you know what? I need you to go do this. Um, replace a water pump. Okay, show me how you do it. Let's see how fast you can do it. Yes, Avenger. What's up? What's up? Quick Rich. All right, guys, start emailing me if you're trying to jump in the chat. It's in Houston. It's in Houston. Oh no, I haven't tried that then. Normally the when I was up there, the food in Houston was not all that great. Fluffy, did you get that work done on your Equinox? No, they said they were gonna contact me on Monday. This past Monday, still haven't heard nothing. That's why I can't stand that dealership. And if I could just put them on blast, I would, but ah, that'd be too much information. Exactly, Sergio. Don't let them get free work out of you, Supra. Like I said, Sergio, it's usually on their own vehicle, not a customer's vehicle. They're not repairing. He's not going to be repairing anything. He'll probably remove it, clean it, and reinstall it. Hello from Andy. Andy, how's it going? Lake City, Florida. Florida up in the house. I got some. I get some for you, Sergio. You and Sergio. Oh, uh, yo, how can I get my foot in building transmissions? Building transmission is a we don't do that much anymore. CVTs, yeah, we rebuild them, but that's a little something different. I don't know if anybody domestics are the only ones that I know that really build transmissions. But knowing the transmissions, it's scary. Transmission rebuilding is scary. Uh, I got two questions, Fluffy. First, does Matco sponsor or something like that for advertising their brand? No, they do not. I just I like Matco tools. Is this the Daniel I'm thinking? Right? Didn't you work with us at the shop for a little bit? Or no? It, maybe you look like him. Secondly, what would it take for you to shave your beard, brother? I am trying to go for a whole year. A whole year. A whole year will be in June. So if I can hold off in the heat for another 2 months, then I will. If not, then I'll just shave it off. But yeah, I'm trying to see if I could commit to a full year. I've never done it before. Um, VW and Mercedes, I think their all-wheel drive system is overcomplicated. Everything that has to do with uh everything that has to do with German cars is overcomplicated. Sorry, wife is talking to me. What was up about the alternator you were talking about? The alternator. What alternator? About the alternator. What alternator? I don't remember an alternator. John, refresh my memory. Oh, no, you said water pump in a PT Cruiser, right? We had an independent dealer stop by and he has grip edge RPT bolts bits. Wow. Aren't those cheaper than the RBT? Misfire on 3 and 6 new parts installed. Bree Posse. Misfire on 3 and 6 new parts installed. Misfire. Uh Explain a little further what kind of vehicle OEM coils or what parts were installed. Let's start there. I'll take some birria taco. Ooh. 10 millimeter fasteners, but a Toyota customer service told me that they recommend 33 on Valkyrie. Guys, what the man? Hold on. I would just snug them. To be honest. Brake check your fuel filter and pump from the tank. Also, it could be a waste spark system. What kind of vehicle? Again, what kind of vehicle? We need to know these. This I'm confused on further tightening because the design on late model engines allow a predominant clamping force. Any additional torque would not provide additional clamping force. Yes. Also check the ports for the cylinder 3 and 6. Dodge Caravan valve cover bolts are 90 to what's that? 8? Yeah, something like that. 8 to 10 foot-pounds. It's not a lot. It is not a lot. Even our valve covers, the timing cover, it's like 9.2 foot-pounds. It's really not a lot. Business up and down. Business up and down. Did y'all email me? No, I didn't work. Oh, okay, you didn't work with me. My bad. I jumped ahead a little bit. All right, guys. I need some emails. Okay, live stream. Oh, invite. Because I'm not trying to do a 4-hour stream again, guys. Oh man, the last time it got because I can if you want me to join John. Yeah, of course, bro. You a live member, so yes. John sent you an email. Uncle Mark. We're gonna have Uncle Mark up in here for the first time, guys. Sent out the email. Now take a little bit because emails go out slow. I don't know why. Chris JRS. You're linked up. Sergio about them Cowboys still. Sergio, you got it. Quick Wrench. Of course, we got to bring Quick Wrench up in here. Where's Lakes? Where's Lakes? Quick Wrench. Lakes works at an independent, so he could give us some insight. And he's been at an independent for a good amount of time. All right, yeah. Oh, damn, y'all are already okay.
We're fast with this. Come on now.
Let me get through the comments before we start. Already emailed. We're never slow. I wish we were. I need a break.
Pull my phone more.
Damn.
There we go.
Why is man?
Oh,
Google is
so it has
on
to be
shit today.
All right.
What's up, guys?
Andrew, what's up, bro? Andrew, I wish, man, you could send some of that this way. I'll learn some German cars. on all news.
Or my tacos, Chris.
Wow.
And it's an 01 Dodge Caravan.
Is it?
Yep.
Does it have the waste spark system? So
that's what I was wondering, because that's why I asked her about all the wiring, because I know for Dodges, wiring was the number one issue throughout all those models from the early 2000s.
And it could be a coil pack. The whole coil pack. It's one
that is true.
That fires off. Check wiring and grounds. Yep. What is it on? We did all okay. You see the Toyota Camry has 2.2 4-cylinder, 10 millimeters. Yeah, oh man, that's probably why they're probably spinning already. You probably stripped it. You might need to helicoil those.
There we go.
Let me go work there.
Yeah, 10 mil is only supposed to be 15 pounds at most.
At most.
At most.
Camry and Toyota Corolla are pretty similar. What do you think, Uncle Mark, on this?
I missed it all. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hear you.
Okay, good.
Super clear.
Can you hear us?
Oh yeah.
Well, welcome to the panel.
Yeah.
Glad to get to see you. Yeah. What do you think on this Camry? These 10 millimeter bolts.
I'm thinking like whatever 9 foot-pounds is, or 8.8 foot-pounds, right? Like what is that in inch pounds? Like I say, it's like 90 inch pounds, right?
About
that.
I think it's
maybe
A little more.
it's like
33 is
30
close to 100.
foot
Close to 100.
Yeah,
Inch
90 to
Maybe-
106 or something, probably somewhere in there.
does anybody know the conversion?
Like 108.
But I know for the valve covers for an X12, which are 10 mils, they only go for 10 pounds, I think.
And that's on a big rig, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I would imagine they used bigger fasteners.
Because if
That's on the new X12, so they don't need to. The older ones, I was able to do a 3/8 and just hand tighten those.
So we got
Because the
One
conversion is like 12, right? Like
Yeah,
if it's
it says
30
1
foot pounds,
foot-pound.
it's like 360 inch pounds. It's like,
Ah,
Nine
I
foot
can
pounds.
see-
No,
The 108 inch.
1 foot-pound is equal to 12 inch pounds.
yeah, so if
So
he's
it-
saying it's 30, it's got to be like 360 inch pounds. It's like,
That's a lot.
Gotta
I don't doubt that
You know what, Flub?
they're stripped.
You know what I'm thinking? You know how we're thinking 10 millimeter bolts, but do you know the 10 millimeter bolts that go for like for example on the intake on the 13, 14, 15 Sentras, you know those 10 millimeter bolts?
Oh, that
The
You know
thick
what
ones?
I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're thinking 10 millimeter because I mean that's just the head of the bolt, but we're not thinking about the
Yeah.
thread. The threads. I mean, it could be a much thicker thread,
So-
but still, I would still be
15 is the highest I've ever seen for a 10 mil.
okay, but what Chris is saying,
Oh, I know for how thick the thread is. I
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
but we got a 10 millimeter bolt, but the thread on it is like a 12 mil. Like it'd be
Yeah.
12 or almost 13 mil sometimes.
Mhm.
I would say on some.
did we ever figure out what year this car was?
It's an old wait for the what we're talking about for the bolts. No,
Just
I don't
put an
think we
index
gave.
on
All
it
I
and
know
just
he
send
gave
it
us
to
a
the stock
2.2.
Yeah, because I did a quick YouTube search or Google search, and it was like for 2000, it was like what everybody's saying, like
Sorry, I'm in my kitchen.
100 inch pounds.
Sergio, let me ask you something, because I know
Yeah.
you're not you're in HVAC, so you're not dealing with independent shops. You're not dealing with dealerships.
Well, I mean, we have factory service companies.
So y'all have factory service companies, and
Yeah.
then you have private contractors.
Yeah.
And homes and yep.
What would you prefer, or what are the pros and cons to who?
Depends on which company. I mean, you all do basically the same thing. It's just, I think the factory companies, they get a little more training. I mean, and it depends on what company it is and what you're working on. So like one dude that used to work where I work now, he left and went to this, I think it's called Smart Chiller, which is this national company that makes these chillers. And so he got all this training on them, but you know, he doesn't really work all that much, but he gets guaranteed 40 hours a week whether he works or not.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So he got a
Man.
pretty sweet good. He's kind of an asshole, but he's a smart asshole. So people like him. A lot of people didn't like him because he was just an asshole to people. Because he was smarter than other people, but you know, he liked to flaunt it. So, but there's I mean, I don't know. I've never worked for a factory company. I have like friends that do, but they like for York or JCI now. It's like they work on the guys I know that work there. They work on like the ships a lot.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Because I think it's like 80 or 90% of the world's ships use York chillers on them. So, well, they're on like the Navy. All they do is like work on Navy ships. So
Is that like government contracts? Or
Yeah, that's
much.
government. If you're doing any military,
but they don't really do much from what I've been told. But yeah, JCI, Johnson Controls, whatever. It doesn't matter. Same
it's like in Wisconsin, we got a foundry that actually does stuff for the Navy.
Yeah, but it's like, I know he said they've had to like fly them out, or maybe not him, but like some guys out to like Japan and stuff, wherever the ship was, to like troubleshoot things.
Ooh.
But, there's that. There's like Train, but they're kind of useless. It just depends. I mean, because anything that they tell them, we can find out by just calling tech support.
So y'all have the resources available.
Yeah, they don't, in our industry there isn't much that they like hide.
Yeah, proprietary.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
you might have to like pay for like the software or whatever, but
software.
yeah.
Oh, because y'all have electronic.
For chillers and stuff, like Train will have I forget the name of the company or the name of their software they use to connect to it and carrier does too. But I mean, if you can buy
Yes.
it, and if you want to pay for it, then yeah, you can have it, and then you can do work on that stuff. I mean, and they offer most of the manufacturers offer classes on almost all their equipment, especially like the chillers and stuff, because they know that like they don't have people everywhere that can service them, so, or at least from their company. So
Yeah.
it would be like, if I don't know how to explain it in automotive terms, but it would be like if Nissan had like an authorized Nissan repair shop in BFE, Montana, because there's no Nissan dealerships around. But you know,
Mm.
I mean, just as an
I
example,
get you.
like,
Yeah.
so that way,
I get
you
what
know,
you're saying.
they could service Nissans, they get all the support, but they're not like a Nissan dealership.
So like Enterprise, they deal with Nissan a lot.
Yeah,
Their technicians are able to do like certain recalls, certain programs, certain repairs that they have dealer access to.
oh, I
because
know.
They work so
I see
much
car guy.
with Nissan. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I mean, we have factory companies. Like the company I work for now, is pretty big, so they own a lot of shit. But, I mean, there's like LG is one that people don't like to work on, like the VRFs. So LG literally has a class for like a week that tells you how to work on them, how everything works, how to work the software and everything, and troubleshooting. And like, I can see, I have an example of their manual, but like, that is not the right thing. Well, like their manual literally walks you through how to troubleshoot. Hold on, let me find it.
So it's like Carline for diagnostics and that.
Yeah, it's that is an installation. Hold on, I gotta find it. There's a bunch of, like, I have a whole folder, but
Yeah.
so like, if you want to share my screen, how do I share my screen? Oh, there we go. So like, they literally, like, I could go this one. So like, I can this is literally, you can Google this manual. I just have it saved. And it'll tell you, it's proprietary data.
Proprietary data.
But you can find it on Google.
Wow.
Can't find Oshkosh on Google. I could tell you that right now.
Actually, you can find it on the website. All you have to do is log in, get a login from like,
Yeah, they don't
supply
give those
house.
out very
But
well.
so it literally tells you, like, here's like a troubleshooting, or how to auto measure refrigerant, and it tells you, okay, do this. Let me see.
Yep.
Good old flow chart.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I have run into stuff where not everything you need to know is in here, and you actually have to call them, because that happened to me once. Like, it tells you all your error codes.
And that's usually what you usually have to call on, because it's not on there.
Yeah,
Y'all
it's
have
more for like,
DTCs?
what was that?
I said y'all have DTCs.
Yeah.
What?
Or at least these do. A lot of newer units do too. Yeah, but these. So like, you know, error number this, it tells you this, and then it has pictures where you can. Oh, you need to. It's this pin, and this is what your reading
At
should be.
least y'all get pictures.
This is the only
Pictures once in
manufacturer.
a while.
This is the only manufacturer that I've encountered that really does it, though.
Oh man, I wish we got pictures.
But yeah,
We got pictures at where I'm at. We've got all kinds of like
yeah.
different pages and different sites that give us access similar to that for all the different cars, all the wiring diagrams,
Yeah.
all the pictures.
Well, I
of
mean,
everything.
like giving you an actual picture, not
Oh,
just you know,
we have
I got
actual,
a
right here.
6.5 inch book just on what I have to do for certain things to work on.
So, like, the other thing with this too is that, the other thing too with it is like, what's kind of got me in trouble with it. So stuff is diagnosing the wrong part because I followed the flow chart, but then, and I'm like, all right, well, it says replace the compressor. Okay, replace the compressor still didn't work. And I don't know if you know this, but to replace a compressor on one of these takes about 3 or 4 days
Ooh.
because you have to recover all the refrigerant. If they didn't put isolation valves, you have to, do all the replacing stuff, and then you have to pressure test it for 24 hours. Then you have to evacuate it for 24 hours, and it has to hold. Then you got to charge it back up and test it. And it turned out to be the board. And they're like, well, I remember my boss at the time, he was like, well, could have been the board. I'm like, it could have been, but I followed their flow chart and they said it was the compressor.
Wow.
Ouch.
Should
That's
you really get in
bad.
trouble if their flow chart said to replace that? If
No,
you're
'cause
reading,
that's what I said.
you know,
Like, hey,
you
it
know,
was this. I mean, but
you
now
know-
I know. Maybe replace the cheap. I mean, I was still like a second-year apprentice, so it's like, maybe next time go with the cheaper part, even though it was free because it was under warranty. But it's still labor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yikes.
like us with airbag
yeah.
systems, right? We can't really test much when it comes
Oh,
to
you,
airbags.
yeah.
So-
Don't take out your Power Pro for that one, folks.
Yeah, no, hell no. So they normally, our flow chart is start with the cheapest thing, then work your way up.
Yeah.
Chris, what's your backstory? How'd you get to where you are right now as far as choosing dealership or independent? I know you're currently at a dealership. I think you worked somewhere else before, right?
No, I've always been at Nissan
Oh,
dealership.
Used car
Only
tech.
I was always a Nissan enthusiast. That's why.
Gotcha.
Since I was working on Nissan. Well, my I will admit that my training, my original train, like 13, 14 years old, were on Hondas, and then but I was always into Nissan. And then when I got
Good old-
then I started working on my friends' 240s and stuff, and all, their 300 ZXs,
Ugh.
and pretty much all backyard stuff until I got into Wildtech. And then at Wildtech, as they say, they finally tuned the skills that you already have if you know how to work on cars, and you learn, all the little nooks and crannies of how to do it. And then while I was at Wildtech, they recruited me over to Nissan. Because they were able to pull up my grades and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't know. I mean, I knew because they said, okay, put down the list. And I was like, I only want one place. And I told Nissan. So I put it down. I didn't think I was actually going to get picked, but I was, at the time, I was top of my class with attendance and grades. So, that's why I got into Nissan, and I was going to Wildtech and working at Nissan at the same time. Because they got me in like half the year. So for 6 months, I was, waking up at like 5:30 in the morning,
Oh,
going to work, and then getting off of work, and then taking a 2-hour drive to Wildtech, getting there, and then getting off of Wildtech at it was 10:50, but I mean you could call it 11 o'clock by the time you walk to your car, and then taking another. It was slightly faster since there was no traffic at night, so like maybe an hour to an hour.
damn,
30.
where was this at?
It was at the time.
I mean, were you living where you live now?
No.
Oh.
So at the time, I was living in Irvine in Orange County, and
So you had to be driving to LA then.
well, I moved to Orange County actually because I got the job at Nissan Irvine, so I had to move over to Lake Forest, and then I would go there, and then I drive all the way to Long Beach,
Holy fuck.
Long Beach, to go to school, and then But before that, when I was living in LA, while I was going to Wildtech, I was taking my 240 was not running anymore, so I was taking the train, and I think that's why I did so well in school because I was taking the subway. I should say the metro, the
Metrolink. Yeah.
So I was taking the Metrolink, and when I would get on the blue line was the longest one. It was like almost nearly a 1 hour ride. So I'd open up my book and I just read the automotive book, and I got I would read every single page thoroughly.
Damn.
And by the time I got there, like, yeah, that's why I would ace all my tests. I was reading through it, and yeah, I mean, I think that's why I did so well at WildTech, and while I was there. But yeah, that's how I got into the dealer at least. Before that, it was, you know, working on 240s, 300ZX, Honda Civics, street racing stuff in LA and the streets of Alameda and all that shit. Stuff that you shouldn't do. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, right.
It's dumb.
It likes.
It's dumb. It's dangerous. Don't do it. But
I know how dangerous.
yeah. So yeah, that was I guess my up and coming to Nissan, starting at Nissan, I guess. Yeah, and then I was only a loop tech for a year though, and then they moved me to Express Level 2, and then I was really never doing oil changes again. At that point, when they saw my potential there, when I moved dealerships and they saw my potential, they had me doing everything. I was an apprentice, but I wasn't an apprentice just to the shop foreman. I had my little blue. I don't know if you've seen my blue roller cart.
No.
Maybe no. Okay, so I just had that at the time, and it was just stuffed with tools. And I had a bay, but I was moving around because I was helping every single tech. So whichever tech was far behind, I would go and I'd be like, okay, do this job, and I do a job for them. And then so they just give me all right, when you're done here, go with them. And I learned so much in that time, so much.
Yeah.
I did everything. I did long blogs. I did head gaskets. I did suspense. I did everything. So it was a really good education. That's why sometimes I wish I could go back, because I got such a variety of everything. And I didn't really have to, since I wasn't flagging it, I didn't really have to worry about the paperwork or the warranty hours,
Yeah.
or any of that technical stuff. I did have to make I think about at least 70 or 65% efficiency. So when I wasn't helping out somebody else, I'd do like little recalls here and there. Yeah. But they never went. I was in the lube bay for like a year, and then I never went back.
Nice.
I miss those times. And whenever I see somebody, up and coming as an apprentice, I'm like, dude, this is the best time. You're gonna learn. If you make a mistake there, you'll be like, hey, he's an apprentice, you learn from your mistakes. This is the time to take it all in. This is the time to take in all the insults, like, you don't know what you're doing.
You're gonna make a mistake making this.
Exactly. Make it when you're an apprentice, because I mean, that's what I did, man. I mean, I made a lot of mistakes. When I was just a lube tech. When I was just a lube tech, they trusted me a lot, and I did a brake job. And this is probably the worst I've ever done. I haven't done that bad since. So I was still at Loop Tech. In Irvine, and they had me do a brake job, and I wasn't feeling well that day. And I had actually asked them, I was like, hey, do you think I can take off early? And they're like, no, just stay. So I didn't just stay. I stayed overtime when I was feeling bad. They sold a brake job like at 4:30. I stayed till like nearly, 5:30 doing a Ford, like 2 axles, front and rear brake job. And on the last caliper, I only hand tightened the caliper, and I put the wheel and stuff. And luckily, it didn't completely come off, but it just came, and it got wedged between the wheel. It was still able to brake, but I mean, it got wedged between the wheel and stuff, and it was horrible. And I didn't get in too much trouble, because when I had asked to go home and I told them that I wasn't feeling well, it was in front of the service manager. But they were still like, yeah, you shouldn't do it. And I was like, I know. It was like, it slipped by me. And that was my greatest teacher was failure. So like from that point on, I always like, all right, just double check it. From that point, I'm just like, double check. If there's a glimpse of doubt, I will put it back up in the air and check it anyways. I'm like, all right, at least I know now. I don't leave anything to like, I think I did. No, I just go and I'm like, I'm just going to check it. Double check. Every single time. That's what I would tell. When my little brother came to the dealer after, and he was working on stuff, and he was working under me, I would tell him, double check. I drill that to anybody who was I was teaching, or I would drill that to him. I was like, hey, double check it. I'm like, if you have like a glimpse of doubt, just double check it. Go take a wrench. If you have to crawl under the car, go ahead and check it. Whatever, but whatever it takes.
All right. All right, Uncle Mark, we're gonna get to you. But let me get through the comments real quick. Got behind a little bit. Much love, bro. Appreciate your time. Thank you. All right, Wilbur. I guess you're heading out. Thank you for coming on. I bet Andrew. Let me see. What your Camry 2002.2 9 foot-pounds. 01 Dodge Caravan with 3.8 liter. That was the misfire one, right? No, I didn't work with you. All right, Daniel, you got the name of somebody that I thought worked there at the shop with us. He was a subscriber as well from Huntington Beach, California. Damn. Wire turn to be okay. Brave for everything to fuel system and engine. Yeah, I think we still need a little bit of information on that vehicle. Valve covers are usually listed in inch pounds. Ours is listed in foot pounds, but yeah, like I said, that 33 foot pounds is a lot. PTs are pretty horrible, but escape alternators I watch tech pulls CV controller. Damn. Yeah, well that's too much to do just for an alternator. That's worse than our Pathfinder.
90s. What was their van style? The Ford Windstars or whatever. You had to lift the engine up in order to do the oil change for the filter.
Not really. Not on the 99 Windstar. You didn't have to.
No, not the 99. The 92.
Oh yeah,
You had to literally lift the front of the engine just so that you had access to it. You could still keep it semi-bolted to the frame, but you had to make it where it was loose so that you could lift it up just like a 3-4 inches.
Hey, Flood, correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't the early first generation Quests, weren't they Ford? Or what were they?
I have no idea, bro.
I think they were.
I'm not.
I think they were actually Nissan, and Ford sold them as the Villager, but I think it was made by Nissan.
Oh,
Something like that.
That sound right?
Something like that.
Really good vehicles, though.
Yeah.
I've always kept a beard, usually no more than 1 to 3. In 2021, I swear I would not cut it till we got a real president back in the White House. Damn, Andy got that long thing. Dang.
That's almost 4 years.
Yeah. Lakes with CP right now. Yep. Usually inch pounds. Yes, runs good at idle. Oh, new coil from dealer. Runs good at idle. You might have a compression issue. Did you like that? No, I did not like that 10 millimeter. That 10 millimeter on the oil pan was scary as hell on that track. Multiplied by 12. Yes, sir. My car is 1996 Toyota Corolla DX. Yes, sir.
Those things are awesome.
Corolla and Camrys are similar. Johnson Controls. What's that?
That's what JCI is.
Oh, I just found it weird that the customer rep said to Torque. I would see. That's why I don't like to. I'm assuming you talk to them over the phone. Customer rep. I don't know who the customer rep was, but they shouldn't be giving information like that out over the phone.
Should it have been mistaken for inch pounds?
Yep, maybe.
Maybe.
I was just saying, since not everyone will know JCI. I sure in the hell didn't know JCI. Y'all have a good night. All right, Super. Thank you for coming on.
Later, Super.
I don't know all the acronyms. What I found was 52 inch pounds, or approximately 4 foot pounds. 4. Damn.
That sounds more
like an 8 mil.
That's a low.
What's up, Blake?
What's up, Blake? How you doing, bro? CP up in the building. Good looking panel of gentlemen up tonight. Thank you, CP.
What's up, CP?
Might come on in a few minutes, just doing a few BS things around the house right now. All right, Quick Wrench, we'll be waiting for you, bro. On CP's live, watching you all at the same time. Dad, Legs over here double tasking. Yeah, you HVAC guys, I only know because my brother is in HVAC refrigeration, and we have a Johnson Controls manufacturing plant locally. Good evening, guys. This is Eric with the escape issue last week. Hold on. What actually happened with your escape? Where did you find? Working on it about 5 minutes. All right, CP, we'll be waiting for you too.
Or not call it escape for no reason.
I want to trash. Nah, don't trash talk CP. He's good people, man. Come on now. Just kidding. All right. Turner. Oh, yes, we do got room. Shoot, Turner, I totally forgot about you. How did I do that?
Escape.
Let me see. Sent.
It's like exploders. Well, you think about it. Escapes and exploders were basically the same thing. The only difference is that a little bit longer for the exploder.
Not even remotely close. The Escape was a
I'm not too
car
familiar.
exploded, and the Explorer is actually an actual truck, but it was marketed as a family vehicle for sporting events.
Really?
Like
I thought both of them were off the same frame.
not even
Oh, I
remotely.
didn't know that.
Yeah, the Explorer
Oh,
actually
yes.
had a full frame, an actual like
Oh.
truck frame. Whereas the Escapes were really just a big car. That's all it is.
Okay.
The Escape is garbage. I mean, even if you pick up an Escape by the frame, it'll bend. So
Nice.
you got to.
Well, I remember that U-Haul made a ban where, what was it? Was it the Escape that couldn't haul?
No, that was the Explorer, and it had nothing to do with the Explorer. What it was is the cheap Firestone tires. The issue came down to they were manufacturing a plant that the glue was melting at low temps.
Oh,
And the way that the Explorer tracks when you're hauling weight, the tires get hot. So Ford realized that the tire pressure needed to be 27 pounds. Well, nobody pays attention to what the door says. They all fill them up to 35 pounds. And when those tires get hot, they would
it
expand.
was overheating them. Yep.
Yeah, they were expanding well
So-
past the 50-pound range. Tires blow and they roll over.
So it really had nothing to do with the car in general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It
And
had to
like
do with the
tires.
tires. The tires.
Because
For
they,
the-
that's what they equipped them with. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
If
The
you
only
know
reason why I know about the U-Haul thing because I was told about it like every
Mhm.
single time I haul from U-Haul using their trailers for my toolbox and that.
Well, I actually had some Explorers that I hauled no less than 2,000 pounds in the back end of it, and I had a generator that was 6,950 pounds.
Damn.
So yeah, on a 4.0 1999 Ford Explorer, and yeah, U-Haul wouldn't allow us to do anything with it. So when I'd have to rent tow dollies to haul our trucks around, I'd have to borrow the boss's truck, go get the
Yeah,
trailer.
borrow a different truck. Yep.
And
Using their
put it
trailers
on
for my
that.
toolbox and that.
Yeah, I actually had some Explorers that I hauled no less than 2,000.
Oh. I don't know what happened, Quick Wrench. But we're gonna
feedback.
let Uncle Mark. Uncle Mark, what's your background as far as automotive? I know you're a DIYer.
I'm a DIYer.
So
I
What-
originally
Anything and
wanted,
everything.
your interest in that?
my dad was into it, and I always loved cars since the little cars. Like I had every little toy.
Oh, the little models.
Oh yeah, when and most little boys, right? You like cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dad always fixed his own.
Nope.
I started working at a Volkswagen dealership in the mid '80s or early '80s, hoping to get start at ground level. Let's wash cars. Hopefully it was a small dealership, like there was like 5 stalls, and wanted to get an apprenticeship, and they said they'd give me that if I worked there for a while.
Yeah.
And then it looked like, no, that's not going to happen. So I was offered a job somewhere else and left. Actually, I
So you
got a really
never-
good job.
You never tried doing the automotive again?
No, yeah.
Oh.
Like I was offered a super job. I was working for Auto Trader actually, and I was making like, I don't know, 4 times as much as I was working at Volkswagen. So it was
Wow.
like, yeah. It
So
was-
how do you like doing what you're doing right now as far as working on friends and families and personal cars?
Yeah, I'm just basically working on most of my own stuff, and it's the Auto Trader thing. Like when I worked for Auto Trader, was dealing with lots of dealers. Actually, later on, for 25 years, I did automotive striping and lettering.
Ooh.
dealerships, 3M trim line. So, had a lot of dealer friends. They knew I liked cars, so a lot of times you'd get stuff that always going to go to the auction, but if you wanted, you can have it for whatever they had into it.
Yeah.
And I'd usually fix them up and sell them. We've had lots of cars over the years, over 100.
Wow.
Like,
That's amazing.
I don't know what the number exactly is, but it's over that. That's why I have 4 vehicles right now, and there's only 2 of us. There's always something going on. I'm driving the Intrepid as a junker, but I've got a newer Ford truck that's not being used right now. I don't even know why we have it. It tows our trailer in the summertime, and I just bought a Ford Flex we thought it needed a motor. Bought it off a lady, and it needed a turbo. So put a turbo in it, one of the turbos, and it's sitting right now because I got to do some other work to it. But yeah, I don't know.
Nice.
So I'm the non-mechanic here. But I like
I mean,
tinkering.
you still, whether it's professionally or on your own, you're still doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun thing, and I just started posting some videos, and then it kind of got out of hand. And I think about 476 videos
Nice.
right now. So,
For
but
doing your own thing, that is
yeah,
that's a good amount.
but I don't have the subs that Fluffy does. That's for sure. But
You'll get there.
maybe one day. We're at about 13,000, I think, or something. So I'm like the little guy yet, but
Do you do shorts? Do you do
I'm doing a little bit of those.
that? That's where I gained a bunch of mine.
Yes, I've noticed that every time I throw one out there.
Yeah, you get
So
a
open.
little more traffic.
Yeah. But you were talking about some. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
I was going to say when I was working at the Volkswagen dealership, though, I brought my car in at lunch. I had a '67 Pontiac 2-door. It was a pre-gen or something like that. I brought it in to do an oil change. We'd shut down at coffee time, and I'm doing an oil change on it, and it had the old hoist that had the middle post.
Ooh.
Was it like a what were they? Fluid, some kind of. And so the
in-ground hydraulic hoist.
what's that?
The in-ground.
In-ground hydraulic hoist.
That's what it was. Yeah. So of course the switch to make it up go down, whatever's against the wall, and I'd done the oil change, and I'm bringing her down, and all of a sudden I hear crunch, 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 and I'm wondering what's going on. My buddy's toolbox. I had it under the car.
Oh.
It was actually a brother-in-law of mine, and I crushed the tool. Like it went down a couple feet. I owed him a toolbox.
That's probably pretty cool.
He was pretty good
I
with
did
it.
I did it to a roll cart.
Yeah. We were able to. I think it was some of the stuff was Craftsman. I was able to get him drawers for it, and because at the time you could get parts like that. I got him fixed up, and he was okay with it. But yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, no,
Very
it's.
nice.
But I enjoy listening to the streams and listening what you guys are up to, and in a lot of ways, happy I'm not doing it as a living because I was helping my buddy with his. I think I'd mentioned to you with his Equinox. He's got a one with a 2.4, and he burnt the valve, exhaust valve.
Nice.
Yeah.
So y'all just slap a new valve in there, or what?
Yeah, I wanted to do it a little better than what he was willing to do, but we got it running.
Well, let's see how long it holds up once y'all get
It'll
done.
hold up, I guess, but I figured while we're in there, why don't we do a water pump? Why don't we do a thermostat? A few other things while we're in there. It's like it wouldn't have cost him that much more, but he's like, nah. He's not a car guy, and I've never had trouble with thermostats before. It's like, yeah, but it's right there. It's like, the water pump will probably never be done, right? But we're doing timing chains and that. Let's just do the water pump. It's right there. Oh
Agreed.
well.
Agreed.
All right, Justin, what's your backstory? How'd you get into where you are right now?
Well, for me, I grew up with a father who loved his toys. I grew up with an uncle who was actually a mechanic as it was. So I've always been mechanical inclined. Every toy I had, which was, my dad bought me a Honda 3-wheeler when I was like 7 years old, and I drove that around. Whenever it would break down, I had to fix it myself. Dad said, "There's my toolbox. You grab the tools, you do it yourself. I ain't helping you." I had a 400 Bobcat sled, which I hated because it got stuck every winter. And on my bikes, I always fixed them myself. By the time I was 10, I invested like $600 into my own bicycle because I would do cutting lawns when I was a kid all the time.
Mhm.
So I was always mechanically inclined, fixing things. I helped my dad build a Chevy 350 engine ourselves, tore it apart, put it back together, put a new cam, and then we raced it at Kakana Raceway. And my uncle did that. He built his whole truck actually himself. So he bought a whole brand new frame, used that 89 Ford Ranger cab. The engine was 350, and he put 10 grand into that motor.
Damn. A lot of money.
Yeah. When you want to go fast and racing, yeah, it gets very quick.
Yep. The spending adds up.
And this was in the 90s and early 2000s. So
Oh man. Oh no. That's why.
all you had was Summit and S-Can, Soul Comp.
When it comes racing and performance mod, there's always a supporting mod for the supporting mod, and then you gotta get a supporting mod for that.
Yep.
And then you're like,
Stuff
and then
goes
you
out.
realize you're like, it never stops.
The highest,
You can fix
the
it real
lowest
quick.
that we went on a quarter mile with my uncle's with his Ranger, he got it down to a 9.8.
That's fast. Pretty quick.
And that was on a 350. It's just built up with cam, new, high grade pistons and all that. But I mean, and he also had a blower on it. So he actually did his thing. I don't know the compression because I was too damn young to know.
Should have been about 150. I mean, that's crazy in a truck. In a little truck.
He had a full roll cage in that thing.
Oh,
Better.
Nice.
He's running less than 10.
Yeah, you're running anything. Yeah, exactly. Anything.
Well, you
faster
have to. Because where I grew up for Kakana Raceway, it was already supported by NHRA. So
I mean,
they had restrictions on how fast you could go without like anything faster than 90. You had to have a helmet no matter what. Like I said, this was early 90s, so they weren't too safety thing was a hit or miss.
Yeah. More like even if they didn't, you should. Yeah. If you're running nines, you should have a roll cage.
We started off doing 14. That's what it started off at.
Yeah, y'all
And
got it
then every year it was getting more and more progressive. By the third year, we had already a blower on there, and I don't remember the inch wise for the blower though. All I know it's stuck up off the engine like 6.5.
Nice.
That's all I remember. But then for my life as occupation wise, I was factory and foundries most of my life. And the last 2 years, I became a mechanic because I got burnt out working at factories and foundries.
You love
and went to something I was inspired in as it was growing up as a kid.
Nice.
What about you, John?
Very nice.
Well,
How'd you get into this? Where you're at?
Well, where I'm at, or where I'm at as
Into the
far
field.
as
What built up? What made you make this thing as far as?
I've been kind of a wild ride, but I mean, my grandfather was a mechanic in the Army back in World War II. He got out, started as a mechanic at it was like a little gas station, just something he was doing in his retirement. And Mr. Richardson from Rich Ford decided to buy it over and start a dealership. It was just a small little dealership. But it grew so quick that it ended up, he had to move it to the outskirts of town, which at that time was the complete outskirts, and now it's like in the middle of town. And it's basically like one of the oldest, or maybe the oldest Ford dealership in the state, and one of the largest. they do the highest volume and have more contracts than any of them. So my grandfather was the third employee hired when my dad was old enough, and when they moved over to the new location, my dad started working for them. Then shortly after, my dad met my mom. My mom, when they got married, she worked for the dealership, and she actually was pregnant with me while she was working at the dealership. So I was kind of born into that dealership and born and raised through all the mechanics from a young age. And then when I was around 5 or so, started fooling around with go-karts, racing them on tracks with the family.
Oh, damn.
And then by the time I was 8, I was racing remote control cars professionally, and not like just monkeying around. I mean, I was going across the country, racing big stuff. The cars, back then in the 80s, the car I had was over $4,000. So, I mean, like now that'd be like having a $10,000 car that's, a 10th scale. And I just did that. I used to build them, and I was soldering at the age of 10 and kind of just grew up. And then always worked on cars, always worked at the dealership until about the 2000. I got injured and decided while I was sitting on the couch, you got a call from ITT to go to school for electronics. So I went to school for electronics and kind of shifted careers for a little bit. Always stayed working on cars though. It was always kind of a shade tree type thing for the longest time. But I always kept kind of coming back to it. It was something kind of like a yo-yo, something, move places or whatever, go right back to working on cars.
Yeah.
To me, it just makes sense. I mean, I look at cars and they're not BMW, they're not Mercedes, they're not Nissan or whatever. It's nuts and bolts with wires and plastic and metal. So whatever's wrong, I just go at it headstrong and try to fix it. Now this place, I had worked for an independent before that just kind of a bad place. Didn't want to work for him in the end. I wanted to work for him in the beginning. In the end, he started just ripping people off.
Wow.
He was getting tight on money, so he decided, he was really doing some dirty stuff. And I was like, look, whatever you're going to do, you're going to do. But then he started wanting me to talk to the customers and try to tell them I did the work that I didn't do. He wanted me to sell them stuff and not do the work. And I was like, no, that's it. When you're trying to get me involved in it, I'm not going to have anything to do with it. So I left. And kind of grateful I did, because I went through my court stuff that I had to deal with, also with drag racing. So I know how bad it hurts when something happens and it goes wrong.
Yep.
And then basically I get a phone call from a guy, and he's like, well, I'm the owner of this place, and I want to come in for an interview. I was like, oh man, I forgot I applied for that. I went in like 3 times talking to them, and they're like, well, the owner's out of town. The owner's not here. The owner's in Dallas. The owner's wherever. And I just kind of forgot about it. And I actually just gave up. And I was, working just out of the house doing just shade tree work. And I was doing fine. And then, I get that call, and I'm like, all right, hey, all right, I'll be right there. So I get there, and he's like, Robert? And I'm like, no, John. He's like, John. Like, I don't have a John on here. It's like, well, you called me. And he's like, well, hang on a minute. He's like, well, where did I get your information? I was like, well, I've been here. I've talked to your guys, and they kind of, they probably told you that I've been here. And he's like, no, nobody's told me about you. I was like, well, I guess I was supposed to be here then. Then he looked, he's like, well, did you apply online somewhere? I was like, well, yeah, a while back. because, I talked to your guys. They said apply online. And he's like, oh, well, I guess that's where I got your information. All right. Well, anyhow, you're here. Let's talk. So now it's a very Christian-based facility. So, when we got done talking, he's like, I tell you what, go home, pray about it, come back next week, and we'll meet up and see if this is the right fit. Well, we walked out, and the guys were like, oh, hey, John, how's it going? And he's like, you know him? I'm like, yeah, he's been in here a few times. He's like, well, why didn't you tell me anything about him? And they're like, oh, well, we're telling you now. So, he went to like kind of introduce me to a few guys. Just coincidentally, like almost every mechanic in the shop happened to walk into the break room at that time. So he started introducing me, and they're like, oh, hey, welcome. Why don't you just bring your toolbox now? You can start Monday.
Oh.
We're great to have you on board. And he's just looking at me, and everybody's like, yeah, I'm glad to have you. And he's just like, okay, well, I guess you start Monday then. So I was like, all right, well, I'll be here Sunday to drop off my toolbox. And how I know I'm where I'm supposed to be is I was showing him this thing. There's a building that my sister works for. And when they built the building, unintentionally, had nothing to do with anything, the front of the building looks like it says 3:16, which is, John 3:16 from the Bible. Well, I was telling him about it because he was like, talking about how, they are a Christian-based place. And I was like, look, my sister works for a business that's a Christian place. And unintentionally, the building looks like it says John 3:16. So I went to show it to him. I didn't realize I grabbed an inactive phone, pulled it up on the internet, showed him the building. I mean, I typed into Google, typed, the place, showed the image, went to the site, went through everything, handed him the phone. When I handed him the phone, I realized that phone was inactive. I mean, there's no internet. It's not on a carrier at all. Doesn't even have a SIM card in it. And I was like, well, I guess it hopped on Wi-Fi. When I got the phone back, I looked at it. It was not connected to any Wi-Fi.
Wow.
I was like, what the heck? I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was like, well, at least I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. So that's how I got where I've been. And, right now I float right about 122%.
Nice.
I started February 20th. I just looked. Since February 20th, I think it was something like I've done 72 cars. I think it is. I think it was 72 cars. But, it's not bad. I have my way of doing like CV shafts. And like the other day I had a CV shaft for, what was it? Dang it. I think it was on a, what the heck was it? It was something that was either, it was a Ford, might have been either a Ford Edge. That's what it was. And on those Ford Edges, they pay $2.5 for the passenger side CV shaft. And
$2.5.
Yeah, it pays $2.5 because it's got a carrier bearing in the middle that you got to unmount.
Incoming call from Angel.
But
those carrier bearings can be a pain.
Yeah, actually, I have a procedure for it. So, like, the guy's like, well, I told him that it's going to be tomorrow because, I know you probably won't be able to get to it today. I was like, no, it took me about 15 minutes. He's like, it pays $2.5. So, I mean, if in the morning's fine. 15 minutes later, I was putting the wheel back on as he passed by to go get a cigarette. I was like, car's done. He just kind of looked at me and he's like, you finished it? Like, yeah, I finished
Facebook
it.
call from Angel Gebman.
Sorry, wife's calling. So, I mean, I know where I'm supposed to be, and I have my superpowers, but...
Facebook call from Angel Gebman.
Hey, let me grab this real quick.
All right.
It was meant to be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What's going on, Turner? How you doing?
Oh, not bad. Sorry I wasn't in early, but I promised CP that I'd be on a stream, so I kept my word. So
Did he have a panel tonight?
Yeah.
I actually had a pretty good panel. I had a couple new people and a new young tech that wanted to wanting to see if he wants to get into the industry or not. But it was a pretty good stream for him.
That's good.
But
That's
you know,
good.
I can't live my life if I miss one of your streams. So I have to come in and join. So
Well, I appreciate you.
I miss a Fluffy stream. Hey man, I might as well just close my YouTube account and call it quits.
Whoa.
Oh damn.
Dang.
Hey, hey, question for Sergio. You guys feel that tremor over there? By where you?
Tremor.
Oh yeah, we felt it earlier. We were
Earthquake.
sitting on the couch and like you could like the couch started moving, and then like you heard the rumble and the dogs went ape shit. And I'm like, oh, that was an
Yeah.
earthquake.
It's
My
funny
wife's
how
What
like,
was it,
oh
like
my
a
God.
3,
It was
it's
a
funny how
4
when
and a
you're in
half.
4.5?
when you're in
Sorry, dude.
California, you're like it was an earthquake.
Yeah.
You keep watching your movies, dude. When that big one came, that what was it, a 7 point something? It was funny because we were pulling up to my mom's house, and we were just getting out of the car, and it was a big one. We were like, I was literally moving like this, but we were outside. We're out in the open, and my wife goes, yeah, and I was kind of like laughing, and she goes, "Chris, it's not funny." I was like, "What do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
What
What
do
you
you want
do
me to
about it?
Like we're out in the open, and my mom goes, "It's not funny. What happened?" I was like, "We're out in the open. There's nothing. Like it's just gonna last." I'm like, "Okay." And I kept talking to mom. I was like, "Anyways, mom, I got this, and that." And then she's like, "What? Like what the hell?" I was like, "We're in California." Like okay, this and that. But it was really strong. Half of the water in my mom's pool was just all over the place.
Jeez.
It was everywhere. It's funny. But it's
Yeah.
funny because I was taking a shower, and Jasmine goes, "Is there an earthquake right now?" And I'm like, "Probably." And her little brother's here. Her little brother was here. He was just like, "Eh."
Oi.
He was like, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, they
Andrew,
happen every day.
Ever seen a 3-foot diameter compressor wheel? I worked on Navy ships for 25 years. They got some big stuff. Everything on a damn.
Oh, you mean a
bigger than it
centrifugal?
needs to be.
Big bolts. Yep.
Fluffy. It has 120 on
Actually,
each.
not very big for a
And
chiller.
it looks like
For
we got
compression?
a 2 degree going
Yeah, for
on.
a chiller,
Jeez.
that's kind of small, or on the smaller side.
Really?
120 on each cylinder. You're looking at
CP's in the house.
he's here. Yep. 120 on each cylinder should be if that's within spec. Like who said it? Justin. Fuel. Look at fuel. See if your injectors are firing. See if your coil's firing. You know,
But
get a
here's the
test.
thing, though. On a V6 for a van, 120, that's a lot of pressure for an 01.
What do you got on your face, Turner?
Oh, that's actually low.
Oh no! It looks like the
Really?
Predators got me.
Yeah, 120
Predators got me in his target.
You want to know what a Grand Prix V6 was?
What?
105 was their average.
Wait, 120 on each cylinder. What? You doing a compression test?
That's for the that's the pressure of the fuel coming.
Or?
Wait, what?
Is he talking about a gas engine here? Because
Yes.
120
Yeah,
Yes.
compression is pretty
Or
good on
gas?
an older
Oh, I
engine.
thought you said diesel.
No, this was gas. This is on the Dodge Caravan 2001.
A cold compression. 120 is actually well within spec on a gas engine.
Not on ours. Not on ours.
No,
If
no.
Those are newer
No,
cars with
yeah.
a higher compression ratio, but on the older cars, anything
You see, this
2000
Like I said,
older,
the
120 is
01
not
Caravan.
bad.
99 Grand Prix was 105 was the average for fuel pressure.
Fuel pressure or compression?
Fuel pressure was 105
105 for what?
for a Grand Prix. That's what it literally would be
For
rated at.
A gasoline?
Yes.
Whoa, that's way more
Yeah.
than Nissan spec. What is
Traffic
even the
needs to be
direct
90.
injection ones are like 76, right?
Yeah.
Like
82.
76,
82.
80. Oh, 82. Sorry, my mistake. Damn. But normally it's like around 51, right? For the multi-port injection ones, like
But
Yeah,
I'm
check-
going from the actual line. That's how I did the compression on the Grand Prix before it hits the injectors. The injectors actually make it lower.
Wait.
Explorer was on a Ranger base chassis.
They're talking
Just
the
like
small Explorer, probably not the big Explorer.
No, so the Explorer was the SUV, the compact SUV. The Expedition was the large. I mean, you had the Excursion, which was the really big one.
Excursions.
The Explorer was based off of basically just a bigger, kind of like a Ranger with a camper shell and a
Right.
4-door.
Then the Expedition was more of like a F-150,
Correct.
right? Yeah,
And Excursion was based off of the
heavy duty chassis,
Super
right?
Duty E chassis, I
Yeah.
think it was.
Oh, the Excursion is that big old huge one, huh? That big old
Yep.
Yeah.
SUV. Yeah.
It basically was a little bit longer than the Suburban, wasn't it? Just by a little bit.
It was
They're
the
about the
same
same.
same length as a Suburban, but it actually had a stronger chassis for hauling more weight.
Okay.
You know, because it was a Ford.
No,
Not a Chevy.
Hey.
Ford trucks have always been able to handle more weight.
No,
If
they
you look
haven't.
at-
No.
Yeah.
There
Nope.
we go.
Take a look at
Here
the
we
the
go.
Chevy 3/4
Here we
ton
go.
is equal to a Chevy F550, and I've proven that. You can put more weight on the Chevy axle and the Chevy frame than any Ford frame. I've had more
What's the-
Ford frames bend and twist on me than a Chevy. Yeah.
I can tell you right now that even a Ranger can handle
Nope.
over 10,000, and I can prove that it has over 10,000. I might even have the picture.
Y'all
Hang on,
talking
let me see if I can find
So can an S10.
the bed.
I've done it.
Chevy has always had the heavier payload and heavier brake load on their
I wouldn't
trucks.
say that a
Always.
heavier payload, but I know that the Ranger and Chevy S10s both have done 10,000 pounds each.
Oh, yeah.
Traveling down
Yeah.
a road with no return.
Yeah, and my Nissan Frontier pulled a 30-foot boy
Dang.
hauler, but doesn't mean it should.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm not saying it should. I had to do it. There was no way to
Agreed.
get around it.
Agreed.
Dodgers are being
Agreed.
brought up in this discussion. Come on, fellas.
I'm just thinking the next thing somebody's going to say is those Geo Metros could pull more than all that stuff. You know what those
Ask
are?
my uncle about
Hey,
that.
I like Geo
No,
Metros.
but the Geo Metros
They were a
were
great
a
5-speed.
peppy little car.
They were.
a
42
peppy
miles to the
little car.
gallon.
All I'm saying, look, I'm gonna show y'all something. Ain't none of them done what a Frontier can do.
There you go. Now
Okay.
we're talking.
Yeah. Let's get real, okay?
Yeah.
Y'all,
They
Wait,
do that all
everybody
the time.
this damn video.
He landed an airplane in the bed.
Oh come on, internet.
What?
That is not even remotely true.
Look at what
Hey.
play.
Fluffy, you're forgetting
Come on now.
Chevy.
Why
You're
is-
forgetting the Chevy commercial where the Chevy pulled the mountain that the Ford drove up with the Dodge in the back of it. So a Chevy can pull a mountain.
Oh, can it
With a
handle
Ford
a
and a
plane in
Dodge
the
on
bed? Come on now. We got video proof. A
Oh,
news
this is
article.
awesome.
We got video
Here we
proof of the
go.
Chevy pulling a mountain.
Chevy has a up to 18,500 pounds. Ford 22,800 pounds. That's
Well, how this was inevitable.
That's what they safety rated at. But
What years?
The Chevy truck, you can actually overload their leaf
2021.
springs more
Oh,
than you can
see, I don't
Ford
buy
leaf
anything
springs.
new.
I knew this
Ford's
argument
always-
was so inevitable. It was just so
I'm
inevitable.
not having an argument. I think it's interesting. It's giving me
Oh, no, yeah,
information.
yeah. Well, not an argument. Yeah, exactly. But I was like, wait, hey
It's
guys,
not
I
one of
gotta
those that
hop off.
it'll pull
Gotta
that
drop off
with
my girl
one-
somewhere real quick.
with
All
one
right, Chris.
person in it.
We'll talk to you later.
I'll see if I can hop back on. I mean, I'm gonna drop her off. I'm
All
gonna
right.
do some tacos and maybe come.
Okay.
But
Well,
you guys,
I'm probably only going to be on for another 30-ish minutes.
See,
Oh,
see,
probably
see,
then you'll
the,
probably be off by then.
the problem with Ford and Dodge, their
See you guys
tow
later.
rates
Later, Chris.
are based off
Later,
of
Chris.
axle weight capacity, not braking power. Chevy's tow rates are based off of braking power because all these trucks are rated for 20,000 pounds. But if those trailer brakes break on those trailers at those weights, those trucks are going into the ditch.
What's
or they're
trailer
rolling
brakes?
Like that's the
Well,
thing. The small trucks aren't really rated for that weight. The horsepower of the engine can pull it,
But
but
the
it's
brakes,
not rated for it.
the brakes
It's
are
actually not
good.
accurate anymore, but the biggest thing that I would say back in the day, Ford's motors have never been as powerful as what the weight that they can haul.
No.
But I can tell you with my old job, we tried
Ford
every
Flat
single
Six.
manufacturer. I mean, literally every manufacturer for the trucks that we did, and it was for Sprint PCS. So the amount of off-road we did with the amount of weight we had to haul, we tried every brand because Ford was the most expensive.
Mhm.
Every single time we had to keep going back to Ford because everything else could not handle the weight and handle the off-road that we did. Chevy's front ball joints always break. I mean,
Chevy was never an off-road truck and never will be. Chevy's a Cadillac truck. It's not a 4x4.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's the
It's
problem.
not.
That's
Like-
the advantage and the problem of Chevy is the smooth.
He is
suspension.
right. Chevy was always a pavement princess.
Yeah.
I've
So
listened
but the
to
thing
a lot.
the Chevy was made to be an on-highway pavement hauler. It would get better
Exactly.
fuel
But what
mileage
happens
and
when you put
pull
20,000
heavier
pounds
loads.
on a Cadillac? It
Like-
flips over.
Oh,
Ford's problem is their motors don't hold up as like the Chevys, and so when you're trying to haul 22,000 pounds up a hill, it takes a minute and it gets off
and
the
the
lot.
Dodges, we used to twist their frames. We used to twist
Oh,
those
Dodge's
Dodges frames
transmissions
so
blow up
bad.
before you can twist the frame.
now which one was D channel and which one was C channel? Because I remember that for the old Fords and Chevys. One of them had
Chevy
D,
was
one
the
of them
first
had
to go to
C.
D channel, I think it was.
So Super Duties had the D channel, the F series had the C channel, and the reason why they stuck with the C channel is to allow it to flex. They want the frame
Oh, okay.
if as long as the frame can flex some, and even they went back to all C channel because if the chassis doesn't flex when you're hauling a lot of weight, especially off road,
Yeah,
you
you're
don't put
fucking.
tires on the ground.
Yeah.
So it's better to have a frame that actually flexes some.
Correct.
Now, not like the Toyotas where they did that test where it showed hauling the weight over the bumps and the gas tank flew open, the doors were falling off. I mean, it was
But-
crazy.
Do you know what I'll give Toyota though? Toyota does actually make one of the toughest axles. Those axles are used in Hino trucks. Those the truck will die, but the axle will live.
The old engines were worth it. The old Toyota engines for the trucks, like the V6.
Not even as much as I don't care what the internet says. I don't care what people.
I'm not talking about internet.
The lifetime timing change
No.
is annoying because I've had so many of them, including a Camry in there today. That you fire it up, you hear the chain slapping the cover, and they're just like, "Oh no, it's a lifetime chain. There's nothing wrong with it. We've got some, Keebler elves and some, unicorns that oil the chain, and it'll last forever because the leprechauns are watching over it." I mean,
I don't remember if the 88 was chain. I thought it was belt. The old trucks.
Oh, okay.
The
So
little-
my uncle had 1,000,000 miles on his, and I mean,
Yeah, I thought those were all belt. That's why
See,
the
they
old
were
trucks.
lifetime belt. They were lifetime belts and lifetime chains. The car wasn't supposed to last that long.
Who's lifetime?
Yeah, it was only supposed to be like 100,000 miles.
Scrapyard.
and the belts are 100. I think it's 130,000 mile on the belt is what they have now on the service, which is annoying because I know those belts don't last
70,000 is an average you're supposed to, that I
Exactly.
remember.
60 to 90, depending on the use of the vehicle. 60 to 90 on a belt. Timing chains are supposed to be inspected between 120 and 150, but can be up to 300,000 on a chain, depending on the engine and the length of the chain. So I just looked it up because we had this argument like just a couple of days ago.
Oh,
So
I would, like I said, it's always interesting because, I grew up with the older vehicles and that's what I know.
It's not an argument. It's just a conversation. Remember,
The older vehicles were built 10 times better than what anything is built today. in my opinion.
My 85 Ranger went over $500,000 on the original timing belt, not chain, belt. And I mean, now, okay, granted, I was using straight 50 weight oil and I would probably put more oil than gas, but it had over 500,000 miles and it still got 27 miles per gallon.
Hey, Cletus McFarland, Sam.
Holy crap.
Sam that works for Cletus McFarland's got 750,000 on his 99 Chevy 1500. That's
That's a lot of miles.
I've got almost 1 million miles on my 96 Chevy 6.5 diesel, and it's all original.
Oh, I can see it on
All
6.5.
original.
I can see it on people dogged that at 6.5, but if you did the right upgrades to it, that was a good healthy motor. It would
You
last.
didn't need to do any upgrades to it. You just had to not to overheat it.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. But the fuel system have a bunch of problems with the
It was only the compute. It was only the control, the injector control module. It was mounted on the side of the pump inside the intake bridge, and it just got too hot. The second you relocated it, you never had problems with fuel again.
Okay.
And the thing about them, since they're mechanical injectors, every year you just take the injectors out, rip them apart, clean them out, slap them back together, put a shim in if you have to, throw them back in, and you're done. You don't have to replace the injectors on them ever. And the other thing is, if you do own a 6.5 and you want to keep it from overheating, take an LB7 water pump off a Duramax, slap it on there, and you'll never have a heat problem ever again. That is the one thing the only thing that made me happy about when they brought out the Duramax is, hey, look, an upgraded water pump finally.
Interesting.
Real quick, I see it in the chat. There is something that is, I have to agree with 100%. Ford's 300 was probably one of the best motors ever made.
Yes.
I will agree with that.
Yeah, the 300 inline was a beast.
Oh yeah, the inlines. Yeah.
Torque monster went forever.
6-cylinder, but it was a beast. It got like 10 miles a gallon.
For the inline 6, the 300 was the best. For the 4-cylinder, the Iron Duke from Chevy was the best. And when it comes to V8, I haven't seen one that made me smile yet.
Oh, Coyote.
ITC, you're 100% right. He had 3 transmissions in that truck. There ain't no way on a 4L60 now. That's the weak link of every GM is the transmissions are garbage. So
that's why I have a manual. I don't have to worry about the automatics.
I blew clutches out there too. I couldn't keep.
What?
Oh yeah, I had a 97. Well, I pull trailers too. I mean, that's once you start pulling anything, you could drive them all day long. Sam drives that truck. He doesn't really pull anything with it.
Yeah.
That's why he got 750K. Once you start pulling trailers and stuff, and especially if you get any type of weight, now you're talking rear end problems, transmissions, motor issues. I mean, that's just how it works. When you work them, they get worked and they break.
Yep.
But like I said, for an S10, you're really not going to be pulling too heavy. Like I had to do it once or twice, but I mean, I don't try to do it.
Right.
All right, quick range. We'll see you later, bro.
Yeah.
Eric, I do not remember what was the issue with that one. I'm sorry. Didn't Ford put a water pump inside the engine for some of their vehicles? Those would be great. A lot of people were putting the water pump inside the.
Oh, sorry, water pump. I was thinking starter.
Also, it was
another good one.
No, we're not going to talk about Cadillacs or that stupid that European monstrosity that came out with that one that was so hidden that even with manual you couldn't find it. What was that car?
The 4-liter Aurora.
Yeah.
Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I saw a demo where the tire exploded, and if you did just nothing, the vehicle would just roll to a stop. I miss the Ford cars though. I wish they were still making them like the Taurus.
Yes,
I thought they were still making the Taurus.
The Taurus was a good car. A lot of people have a hard time believing me that the Tempo was a performance car with a performance engine that had a horrible suspension.
It was horrible.
The Taurus.
I thought the Probe was the.
It was the Tempo that was the performance. They actually have a whole entire documentary on why that car was made and how it was engineered. It actually had a performance suspension, it had a performance motor, and it was actually for a while there. It was the fastest production car manufactured in America.
You have it backwards. What you're talking about is a Taurus SHO that had the Yamaha motor.
Yes.
And that was the one that was actually detuned for the United States because it revved to, I think it was 15K. And
Holy crap.
Yep.
But it was also a pile of hot garbage too.
No, actually it was decent. Other than, I mean,
I replaced head gaskets on those cars like they were going out of style.
that's usually because people tried to rev them higher than the U.S. limit.
That was on stock
you guys
cars. I
seen
got a ton of stock cars.
So what would have been the difference between
Stop
the
it.
U.S. versus the other one?
The U.S.
Not be able to rev them that high. If
It
they
was
were
basically like a 2-stroke, 4-stroke engine is what it was. They were
But
Yamaha.
my favorite Ford car was 96 Taurus with the supercharged engine. I owned one of those things. That thing went like a bat out of hell. I never had an issue with the engine, never had an issue with the transmission, and it handled like no tomorrow. Like that was the last great car that Ford made, I think, because it was well built and it was well designed and thought out. Everything else after that,
just didn't like ethanol. They had the superchargers did not like ethanol at all.
no.
Eric, what's the P100? Man, I do not remember. this
P1000,
random
300, 301.
P100 is a code that every engine triggers because it hasn't done the drive test yet.
Yeah,
And,
that's
so-
right.
and in Fords, it never goes away. It just stays there because a lot of the Ford ECUs always fail the drive test. They always fail it. So it's it's not an important code whatsoever.
So you got random misfire cylinder 1, cylinder 3, cylinder 6. Because I'm assuming that was 306. Never heard of a 316.
Sounds like he's got a coil issue.
No, you got something else on that.
Yeah, maybe fuel runs.
Oh,
good.
the P1000 is the P1000s. The codes were cleared within the last.
Yeah, it's a drive
hours.
drive code.
No, the P1000 is codes have been cleared within the last so many hours of operation. That started when because people were clearing codes, getting the emission test done, and so that was preventing people from being able to do that. It would show P1000, then you have to wait till that code clears before they get their emission test.
Wow. I found Fluffy through his short videos. Appreciate you, Avenger. Glad it reached out to you. Only experienced fellas know the in-ground single post. I would not want to work on it. How do people even pull transmissions on those? The in-grounds.
Huh? Only the experienced fellows know the in-ground single. Oh, yeah. Screw that.
Yeah. Can't you spin those?
Oh, I've used them. I've used them.
Forget all that.
In the diesel world, you'll see a lot of old shops have it. So that you like pull whatever, and sometimes it's more harder than it needs to be.
There's two kinds. Well, I mean, there was two kinds. They had one that was the X frame type that went up, and then they had ones that were like, there were some. They had ones that were like 4-wheeled ones too. There were some weird ones. I've seen a couple. I've worked on.
We have the I-beam version.
And then they leak down on you, like the really old ones. They leak down on you, so you're working on it. Like we had a guy who was doing a Mitsubishi 3000 GT, and was pulling the motor. And we came in the next day, and that hoist leaked down, and it literally tipped off the hoist because it had the support under it, and it caught the car.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't leaking down before, and that night it decided it was going to leak down. So, yeah,
And
those were fun.
lost?
I don't think very many people have those, but I do like. They are my favorite. The 2-post in-grounds are still my favorite hoist. I had those at Mercedes when I worked on them. Amazing. A fat guy can have a door swung wide open. And, you know what I mean? Like, you know.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Fluffy.
We got a lot
Two-post
of
is the
shops that
best.
still have those single posts in ground, and the reason why they have them still is because they're too expensive to remove.
Right.
So they'll just leave them there.
Yep.
Have you ever seen what they had take to remove them? Dude.
No.
They usually just concrete over them and raise the floor on top of them because pulling those cylinders out is you have to either get a bobcat or backhoe or something in there. I've seen guys try them with forklifts, and the forklift usually can't lift them up because the ceiling height is too low, and they try to chain them, but they slide up and down that deal. I watched several of those people remove those things, and I'll tell you what, dude, that is not a job I want nothing to do with.
Yeah, me either. Eric, the easiest way to reach out to any one of us is through emails. So if you want,
I think I have my phone number even on my page.
oh wow. So yeah, hey, reach out. Foundry is terrible, tough work. Ooh.
Hey, look, Fluffy, you got 35 likes and you got 33 people in the chat. Like,
Oh no, dang, we doing something. What's up, Turner? Hey, Lakes. Let me see. What have you diagnosed already? Fluffy Puppy is giving me issues. Sorry, you're good. Quick wrench. I know you took off already. Coils, injectors, EGR, clean throttle body, and clean mass airflow. Have you tested fuel pressure, man? Because those are a bunch of misfire codes. How are the plugs? What did they look like when you pulled them out? New plugs.
What engine was you working on there?
2.5.
Edge. Think it was an Edge.
All I know is the 2.5 is what he wrote.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find
But the only thing that makes me wonder is if there's oil going into it. Because I'll throw codes of misfire too.
Even bad compression or even a leaking exhaust manifold will trigger those codes.
I know.
It could
It's
also
a
be a
lot.
timing issue.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I have checked.
I think the timing.
Going for exhaust glasses. Yep.
Yeah.
That could do it.
Check the cat. Disconnect the cat. See if it's coming apart. If it's clogged, all wires, coils, and injector look
And
good.
if it's
no
a
leak, bro.
2.5 Ford, well, that's the problem there. Just throw it in the garbage and put something else in there.
Are you getting power to
You
the
ain't
coil?
lying.
Not mine.
The only thing I haven't.
Nope.
So I haven't. So I had a vehicle that did something similar, and turned out the harness was rubbing on the valve cover and grounding it out, but would only do it when the engine was warm. Interesting.
Sprinters
yeah.
like that. They have many harnesses that rub on stuff.
Wow. Engine
I
heat
hate
would soften
sprinters.
the insulation on the
Should
So
have
do
seen the car
X12s.
today.
ground out. It took me a while to find that one.
I think I have a short today.
Hey, Shannon.
Two
A spark plug
One.
wire that was sparking onto the
CP
engine
ready.
mount and then sparking into the air.
Ooh.
I will look over wiring harness a little closer. There's a sensor on top of the valve cover. I don't know what that is. It's bolted under the valve cover though, so that could be a timing sensor. CP raid. M Leisure, how's it going, brother? Timing. CP the Toolman raid. Thank you for joining, everybody. Peter, welcome. Fuel pressure is like 55 ps. 55 pounds. Thank you for the advice. I will look into that and let y'all know next time y'all are on. Y'all have a good night. All right, Eric. Thank you for coming on. That compression with 187,000 miles. It was this big, I swear. What? What? The Geo Tracker. Have some mechanics said the valve train was bad. Ooh. I forgot
Yeah, that'd
what-
be a bad day.
Oh, Dodge, yeah. Ooh. That might be true. Ford always carried a load well. The old 4.9 300 straight 6 could pull stumps, but wasn't a fast motor.
Yeah, it had torque all day.
No, that's the thing. Inlines are
That was
torque,
great.
V8s are horsepower. That's just how it is. And
Oh.
it's because of the amount of force put onto the crank that creates the torque on the rear end. V8s don't put that force into the crank because they're a lot more fluid.
Let's see where.
And there's not as much
FTX
weight in a
is
V8
also-
crank as there is in most inline cranks because of that force.
I'm
So
here.
it's like an
halfway
impact.
through
It's a
Tracy.
bigger hammer that swings and hits every time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you for coming in.
Wasn't it in the 80s that Ford stopped making the inline sixes?
No, 90s. They had the
Really?
they had an
Mhm.
EFI 400 up till what was it, 96?
Oh,
I think it was
didn't know that.
96 they stopped it,
96, yeah.
an EFI. But the EFI was a problematic for that engine, very problematic.
Yeah, electronic fuel system for a lot of 90s vehicles. Look at my S10, for instance.
A
The
frame has
Spider
doesn't break.
injectors.
Correct. That goes for a lot of things.
The Spider injectors were the worst thing Chevy ever made.
My 4L60 went out too.
Dude,
I can redo that whole for you, considering my brother had to replace his.
I just don't have the time
Taking it out only takes 2 hours, man. Trust me.
Dude,
And that's being on the ground with your belly up to the transmission.
on the lift. I'm pretty sure I can pull one out in an hour.
I don't like working on my own stuff at all. I got two
An
other
hour CP? Dang. You're
Yeah.
moving.
Oh yeah. Drop the cross member, pull the drive shaft, drop the cross member, pull the transfer case, pull the bell housing bolts, disconnect the lines, pull the filler tube. Yeah, dude. Disconnect all your cables. I've done plenty of 4L60s. I can.
Who said
Yeah.
four-wheel drive?
I can drop a 4L60 in a four-wheel drive Chevy in half an hour to 45 minutes. It doesn't actually take that long. And
Well,
that's
we did it in
with
2
no
hours
lift.
because
That's
we were
on the
freezing.
ground.
Yeah. Well, on the ground. Yeah. On the ground, it'll take me 8 days.
That's what I'm saying. This was on the ground. It took 2 hours. It was also during a blizzard when we did this.
Oh yeah, dude. Like a week.
To me, Chevy's the easiest transmission to drop out of any vehicle.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes I don't even drop I don't take the transfer case off until I just drop the whole transmission.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't waste your time with the transfer case unless you got the newer trucks that have that stupid cross brace that goes right across on the transfer case. I think it was 2001 and up. They moved that cross brace, and you can't get the transmission out with that goddamn thing in there.
Yeah, you gotta disconnect the transfer case to do it.
I don't talk about this much, but I actually have a business where I get transmissions rebuilt, and I make money off just taking and 4L and Chevy. If it wasn't for Chevy, I wouldn't make money sometimes because GMs literally pay my bills. I don't touch transmissions, but I get transmissions built for guys.
Yeah.
And make money off of it.
Especially nowadays, the 5.3s now transmissions are horrible.
The 4L60s and then the 4L60s, you got 65s. 65s.
Whatever these new ones are, all the new ones are just failing. They're like only 3-4 years old and they're all failing.
The 4L65s are the best ones that in the earlier gens, but then you have the new ones.
The 4L80 is the best, but that's the thing is if your 4L80 fails you, just pull it out, throw it in the garbage, go get a TH700 and throw that TH700 in behind there. Go all mechanical vacuum and you'll never fail again.
Way. Come on, are you kidding me right now?
Vacuum mechanical.
Dude, you are killing me.
The TH700s were solid engines.
Those things were bulky.
Yeah, but they were solid. They were tough.
Solid like what? Solid like pudding?
Miles.
First of all, it's pretty subjective thing. Any GM transmission solid.
Friend of mine.
Here's a funny thing. Did you know up till 2005, you could actually order a Chevy truck with a TH400, TH350 installed in it?
Night quick
You
range.
could get
that
a
I knew.
brand new engine with a vintage transmission stuck in it.
Reliability thoughts on a 9703 Ford F-150.
4.2 wasn't bad as long as it wasn't the Triton motor. You're good.
Yeah.
Baby
Those aren't
North
bad.
Star. See, backfire pause. Check for probably needs intake gaskets, air pops, not misfire, after fire.
Huh?
So you're
After
getting-
fire.
After fire is in the exhaust, right?
There's a previous comment on there that I had asked about, it could be a backfire or air pops. Now,
Oh, okay.
people think backfire as explosion out the tailpipe. That's actually afterburn.
After fire.
Yeah, afterfire, afterburn. Backfire is actually fire out the intake. So when he said he had a misfire, or he had a pop out of the intake, but not a misfire. That's why I was asking which did it trigger. I mean, a backfire or an air pop will be two different things, but won't trigger a misfire.
Not a misfire, after fire.
Yeah.
3.0 Ford Explorer had an internal water pump. Is what they called when it was officially looked at.
The 6040s aren't no good. There's all sorts of transmissions now. There's a whole list of GM transmissions we can go into. I see we're talking.
I have the N3500 manual transmission. And I love that thing.
Because
The
of
N3500 5-speed.
All
the
the
NVs were also used in a lot more than just Chevy. They were actually a pretty decent built light duty manual transmission. And they were supposed to be based off of the old crash boxes that Chevy used to use that you would find behind buses and semi trucks in some cases.
Yeah. I had an 08 Ram 3500 that I put over. Yeah, and it was still running strong.
1.7. Holy crap!
An
How
08?
many transmissions does that thing go on?
Wow, it was the 3.5 that was internal. Thunderbird had supercharger.
Yep.
Taurus never had a supercharger.
And the Super Coupes.
I know nothing about
Super Coupe.
Fords. I thought P100 was all monitors. Not
I
having
built a Super Coupe. This is no joke. I built the most expensive Super Coupe on the planet Earth. Guy had the intake manifold, extrude honed, put all sorts of money in it, like the biggest junk engine to build. And he wanted to build this thing. And then got all these parts done, sent them out, extrude honed and ported, and all the heads done and all this stuff. I put it halfway back together, and he ran out of money and said couldn't finish it. $18,000 in parts he spent on this car. And then guess what? Car only had 19,000 miles on it.
Oh,
yeah.
I have the
Talk about
Thunderbird SC. I'm guessing that's a Super Coupe, right?
Yeah. So Thunderbird SC, yep. What was the year on that? 2001? Maybe? I don't remember the exact years. I just remember
So that
T-Bird had a turbo before a supercharger. Interesting.
There was a T-Bird turbo coupe that had the 4-cylinder.
2.3.
2.3, 4.
I get you something to drink, okay?
That is why we don't drive Fords no more in my family, because we had bad experience with the turbocharge.
I like the turbo coupe. It was a nice car. It actually had a lot of options, but people treated them like garbage.
That thing would not.
Yeah,
stay.
that they did.
When I talk about why I became a mechanic, and that's why right there.
See, I like the '80s Thunderbirds.
Not stay on the freaking road whatsoever.
When Ford brought back the baby bubble look on the Thunderbird, I started having flashbacks of Miata issues. That's what they looked like. They looked like a glorified Miata with their design.
Brother-in-law had a Merkur or something, lad, with the.
Oh yeah,
Merkur.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was kind of fun to drive, but
yeah, they're very fun to drive.
Yeah.
Somebody else had mentioned about the SVO.
This was
Mustang.
way back then. That old Thunderbird.
Yep, I like those.
Yep. They're getting a following back.
Best turbo car I ever built was the Firefly 4-cylinder turbo. That was the best.
Firefly, what? The new Taurus motors pretty much suck.
I never drove one of the ones with the turbos, but they're
The
probably
3-cylinders were actually pretty peppy. The 3-cylinders were like go-karts on steroids. I owned one for a while till my brother buried in the field. But it was peppy for a little turd.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
Just drove the ones non-turbo, but never tried the turbo.
The turbo. My sister had the turbo convertible, and I was actually very impressed with that. And that thing never ever crapped out. It kept going.
Ford had a wild run on some old cars that were really like crazy. Like
motors are good.
They had the Ford GT Escort GT. That had, what did that thing have? Like a 2-liter something in it. It wasn't even it was pretty quick for a non-turbo motor.
It was the 2-liter where the others were the 1.9.
Yeah. And I know I built one of those for a guy. I didn't build it. I just rebuilt it. I could say I didn't build it.
Didn't Ford and Mazda do that together?
What's that?
I don't remember if they did. I think they might have. I think you're right about that.
Lakes, you're absolutely correct, brother. Only thing I did.
What about the Grand National with the 3.8?
Oh,
Yeah.
love the Grand Nationals.
Yeah, the
Grand Nationals.
Or the.
I didn't know I could own a piece. Or I could own my own private island if I'd have bought one back in the day for $10,000. It'd be worth over $100,000 now.
Or the Buick T-Type. Same engine, I think. All those are wow. They're pretty good.
Yeah. T-Type was highly underrated, to be honest with you, because The Grand National got all the fame
Sure.
because of the badges and the interior. But the T-Type was a better car, in my opinion, because it didn't have all the crap on it.
Is it true that Ford Focus had automatic transmission problems?
Yes.
Yes.
What problems didn't the Ford Focus have?
Yep, owned a couple
That's the
turbos.
question. Which problems didn't they have?
Rear taillights.
Ford Focus,
Three
Ford
turbo
Pro.
pumps, like 10 of them. Damn,
Explain one Ford car
it's a
that
minute.
doesn't have transmission problems.
That doesn't have transmission
My
problems?
Mustang
Car?
didn't have
How many
transmission
Ford
problems.
cars don't have transmission problems?
23T was built right
That's
here in
hard to
my-
say.
Well, how far back can we go? Because there was a time that Ford made
Maybe a
very
Pinto?
solid transmission.
Okay. The T3 was good. Okay. The T3 was actually a pretty good beast, but
Maybe a Pinto? That's the only thing I can think of that didn't really have transmission issues.
You go pre 1984, Ford actually had a couple decent built transmissions that were durable. After that, well, every manufacturer after that
Okay,
just came out with crap.
actually, so the 6R80 and the 10R80, well, the 10R80, I don't know so much, but the 6R80 is actually a beast. And you can turn that into the 4R200, which is like indestructible up to about 1,800 or 2,000 horsepower.
Jeez.
I mean, those things are
Interesting.
Because
Yeah.
I personally, I'm still torn between the TH400 and the old C6 transmissions. To me, those are the best transmissions that were ever built automatic wise.
Yeah.
The C6 wasn't bad.
400
The
was so
Turbo 400s were not bad either.
Correct.
Yeah, the problem is they just didn't have enough gears in them for.
Yeah, the Turbo 400s, yeah. They
Three
definitely
speed,
needed more.
three speed.
Yeah,
Yeah. 2.3.
But Chevy did make an overdrive kit that you could buy and you could put on the back of the old Chevy transmissions. That gave you 2 extra
Yeah.
gears in forward and reverse, so you could do 3 speeds backwards if you wanted to.
From German,
I didn't know that.
Physical driver.
Huh.
Actually, when the V6 came out in the truck is when the straight six died.
Hey, congratulations, Fluffy. I just, for some reason, I don't know why it popped up for me, but 1 million on a short, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Like 2 days ago, I think. Finally.
Really? Wow.
Wow.
And like,
Ah.
Baller, you're viral.
oh,
Yeah.
What was
yeah,
that one about?
like, it's funny.
You're at the
'cause
Chris Fix-It level.
I hit like
Hey guys, I'm gonna
985,000 views, right, on it. A little over a week ago, and then that's when my channel just went boom.
Ooh.
Hey guys, I'm gonna call it for the night. My wife's here, so
All right, man. You have a good night.
you guys do.
Have a
Nice
good night,
meeting
buddy.
you.
Pleasure meeting you guys.
Yeah, so it took some days. I don't know what happened. YouTube's
You got to admit, Chris Fix-It, he makes a lot of shorts and videos, and he has a lot of views.
Do you know what made Chris Fix famous? The exhaust bearing and blinker fluid. That's what made him famous.
Yeah.
I thought it was because he started drifting, because he was making his drift car for his Mustang.
Yeah.
Chris Fix got
Really?
famous because he was just around YouTube back when it started, and then
Yeah, I think so.
Wish I would've done that.
Way back.
Thank
Oh.
you, PLC, for the $5 donation. Very much appreciated.
See, I could have been on YouTube back in the days when it started, but the VH8 cartridges and converting them to digital was too expensive.
I was trying to. I was
The old
trying.
High 8, you had to buy the special Creative Labs converter card that was $2,000, and you had to have the special.
Chris
All
Fix
the stuff that I had like even on our old reel to reel, we had some stuff that if I was able to convert it back then, I would have been golden.
Chris Fix got famous.
You
for
mean our
cleaning
8 mils?
engines
Yeah.
and headlights?
Do the stroke.
That was actually how Chris Fix got famous. He did headlight cleaning videos and got like ridiculous amounts of views off them 8 years ago.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Yo, Fluff
the
came
fact
by
that he
the
does
shop,
car
sat-
repairs off of cleaning headlight videos, should I tell you something?
SJ Hootani, yeah. You saw for yourself. many wrenches being turned around that place right now. Late but here. Happy Friday, FM fam. What's going on, Wrenchy? How you doing, bro? 700 R4 is a 4L60E.
To a degree, it's not, but it is. It's just a little bit bigger.
4L60E, fun to rebuild. Never had to build one of those. I do not want to. Those what are they called? Little freaking ball bearings scare me.
I've never tried to rebuild a transmission. Fun fact. I never will.
What are they called?
I did. I had to do the
Little
40.
ball
Ball valve, yeah.
Yeah,
What it is?
you're talking about the check balls.
Yeah, the check balls. There you
Yes.
go. I'm freaking losing it.
Yeah,
But
losing the
That's
valve
what
body.
scares me about that transmission.
Yeah, the valve body. Well, a lot of guys say that's not even the worst part. It's about getting the sun gear set down in with the clutches, and because you have to like. I've watched plenty of transmissions being rebuilt. I watched it, and I don't know why. I just didn't want to take into I didn't want to take it in when I was watching it. But getting the gear sets down when you're putting the transmission together is like where everybody screws up. Usually, they don't get them set in down there, and they lay one like out because they're like the cogs got to lock into place, and where the drum sets down in, and yeah.
And you got to make sure all your clearances are correct, and make sure.
Yeah, it's not. There's not, dude, have you ever watched? Have you ever seen the? So I've been to the transmission place. What's that transmission company that builds across the United States?
Which one?
The
one in Texas, the one in Georgia,
the one in Iowa.
that one I don't know.
Yeah, certified transmissions is everywhere. But I've been there and watched it, and they have all these tables. It's actually kind of an interesting setup. But they have, most of the guys that work there were never transmission guys. They train them to build transmissions. So that goes to tell you something right there that you could build anybody can build transmissions. Once you learn how to do it, it's I guess because certified does it, and they build hundreds of transmissions out of them. There's like 20 some tables. I don't know if you can see it on YouTube, but it's something worth watching or looking up and see if you can see a certified transmission place where they build them, because they just have these build tables and then they have like a pressure or a parts washer right next to them, and they basically do it like an assembly line of how they build them.
Damn,
it's really cool.
I recently did a blown cylinder head on a 2008
Honda Element. Ugh.
6L80E IDTS. What? The 10-speed is joint venture with Ford and GM.
10-speed? What?
You're saying that they're using it?
Are they up to 10 speeds now?
Yes. Oh yeah, Allison's got
my,
10 speed. Allison's got a 10 speed now.
The Ford
Well, I
Transit
know
I just got
Allison,
at
but I
work
mean,
is a
like
10 speed.
Basic cars, like god dang.
Yeah.
Yo, there was a chill meet in town. Bring your
Is
pit.
the fuel economy any better?
What are you talking
than
about?
the 3 speeds were?
That's the thing is, I
So,
think they
Rachel-
came up with a more speeds to drop the RPMs for better fuel mileage, but I don't think it's working the way that they planned it to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ford, what, like Grand Prix and all that, they were only 4-speed and they still had better mileage than most of these cars.
Ruben, 8-speed. Are you under any type of warranty, extended warranty, or anything?
17 Ram? Ouch.
8-speed.
Yeah, see the problem with new engines is everyone's so fixated on horsepower, and with gas engines, the only way you get more horsepower is with higher RPMs, and those higher RPMs are not healthy. So you're dumping more fuel anyways into the engine. All the transmission's doing is just dropping that RPM down. But because they're having to still run at excessive RPMs, even to keep that fuel ratio, they're negating the issue. Like,
what does RPM do to a transmission?
Over revs.
Revs, cooks, burns.
It creates heat.
There were cars in the 50s that
Transmissions
would do
do
like,
not like
they
heat.
claim 30 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
Like, what does an average vehicle do nowadays? I know the emissions are going to be different, but like, really?
Yep. like that's the thing is like, and honestly, why are we creating cars with so much horsepower anyways? Because we don't need that much horsepower. Like honestly,
Not wrong.
a 60 horsepower car is more than enough to get you from point A to point B at 100
My
miles
truck
an
has
hour.
110,
Like,
and I'm able to do it 90.
you look at a lot of the old Peterbilts in Detroit, like the Detroit 871 had 195 horsepower and had 745 foot-pound torque, but it ran at 2,000 RPMs all day long, and it never burnt any fuel. But now, but that's the whole entire thing is it's like our horsepower. Like everyone's so fixated, and that's why we have emission controls now. This is why everything's gotten stupid, and we have so many computer stuff. It's because everyone's fixated on the horsepower that they don't need.
We're dumb Americans. That's why. That's because that's what happens. I'll be honest with you. You're right, Turner. I believe in that. What you're saying, 100%. We do. Everybody wants that HP number to be high. Like, why are we doing 400 and 500 horsepower engines? How about the new Corvette? Did anybody see the new Corvette that came out?
No.
800 horsepower.
We're driving cars, not flying fighter jets over the Atlantic Ocean. Okay.
The bad part about it is our speed. We don't even have an autobahn like Europe, and yet we're producing cars in America with 800 horsepower. And it's just giving the government opportunity to write us tickets and take our money.
You said the Corvette, or do you mean the Dodge Demon?
No, the new Corvette, dude.
Have Corvette's beast.
No, the Dodge Elephant was like a 1,100 horsepower car.
No, the 2023 Stingray is a 6.2, but it's got it's got a 3 second 0 to 60, 2.9, 194 mile an hour top speed. It's got an average horsepower of 500 horsepower straight from the factory, and the MSRP on one is only $65,000.
Jeez, that's cheap.
God, cheaper to buy a Corvette nowadays than it is a Chevy truck.
Cheaply.
Is that Dodge?
I'm saying it's cheap compared to, like, you remember in 2012 when they made the Cobra King or the whatever they did for Ford, and that thing only a Camaro with a V6 could beat it out, and they were charging like $95,000 for that car in 2012.
That's it. I can't afford a new truck, but I can afford one of those Corvettes. I'm going to buy a Corvette, take a 1980.
At least it's still a manual, right? Or is it paddle shift now?
That's paddle.
918,000 miles on one set of injectors. That is insane.
You know, there used to be the cheaper cars where they were kind of junky, but you had the Ford Festiva, like in the late 80s.
Yeah.
They were cheap, or like you said, the Geo Metro or the Chevy Sprint or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. They were cheap.
They were cheap,
but you could afford to drive them. Like people, I don't know. Do we need all the touch screen and all the other?
Those old cars were kind of like America's version of the Lada, affordable, cheap, and easy to repair, easy to fix. Because like those cars, you could literally lift the engine out of the engine bay with one hand. You could access everything. There were no stupid electronics or anything stupid on them. They were failed. They had
on windows, you know.
Yeah, like that. That's the things. Like you just hop in it and drive it, and if it does get to the point where it can't be fixed anymore, you weren't crying about your pocketbook anymore. You just go get another one.
That's why I like my 96 S10. Yeah, it's a rust bucket, but everything's basically manual on it. It's got distributor. It's got
like all those little cars were the modern version of the K car. What the K car was originally supposed to be.
Oh yeah, my little brother has that Ford Mazda mix one. I forgot what it was. It's a 92 Ford. It's literally Ford Mazda mix.
Oh, Ford owned Mazda for a while, didn't they?
I think they.
They still do own Mazda.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Chris,
that.
That 12.9 is a little low with a load. You should be looking somewhere above 13 volts, 13.2, 13.4. There's your Yugo. A Yugo. I put a 2.3 turbo in an 87 Ranger 4x4. Wow.
Nice.
The problem and a Mazda.
Here's a funny thing with the small trucks. What they should have done is what I did. I had an 84 Ford Ranger. The little inline blew out. I put a Chevy 350 in there, and my power to weight ratio was so phenomenal that the fuel mileage I didn't have to break 1,200 RPM to get up to 100 on the highway. And I used to drive from Calgary to Chilliwack, which is in miles is about 800 miles every week on a 60 liter tanks, like 60 gallon tank, like this tiny little itty bitty tank. See, power to weight ratio would have been smarter in a small truck. Put a monstrous engine in it, and then you get better fuel mileage.
Yeah, my S10, I'm lucky to get 15 to 17.
Regin, that could be an issue. How many miles though? If a vehicle is 2 quarters low, it's less than 30 days. Would you say there could be a problem somewhere?
Yes,
definitely.
No, that Ranger came about from a funny story. I had a friend that passed away. Well, it's not really funny, but he passed away, and it was the only vehicle I had, and the engine had crapped out on me, and I had like 3 hours to get things back on the road and going. The only engine that we had sitting in the shop was a Chevy 350, and in a matter of a couple hours, me and my dad had dropped that thing in there, swapped everything over, had the TH 350 mounted on the back of an off 5 of us.
Aren't Focus's engines pretty cheap?
Focus?
Yeah, I thought their engines are like $1,200.
Huh?
Probably.
Nowadays?
Yeah.
I don't know. Huh.
I have no idea.
Like I know my S10, they're still stupid, like $3,000.
That sounds low. Just left Goodyear. I worked for 7 years to get a 30-hour full-time job for a transportation company. I've never been so happy in my life this week. Damn. 30 an hour full-time job for a transportation company.
Nice.
So you are doing fleet, I'm assuming? Yeah, that's real good.
There were I had a couple of Buicks. What year were they? 84, 85, 86, somewhere in there. Like rear-wheel drive V8s.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rivias.
A Buick with an Oldsmobile engine, 307 Olds. And I think that thing would do like 22, 24 miles to the gallon. And it was like couches inside.
Yeah, that's the thing is those old Oldsmobile engines were actually a whole different design than what we know as a Chevy 350 or 305. Totally different engine. They're actually based off of torque, not horsepower. Yeah. And like if you were gonna build a muscle car back then, you would use that engine over the 350. Like the standard 350 was the poor man's end, but if you could afford the actual torque monster, you'd drop that in there and you'd actually burn your tires up a lot faster. But those engines were actually very reliable. They're the same principle as the old 390 that Ford had. The 390 wasn't a horsepower engine; it was a torque monster.
Mm-hmm.
Chef, I would choose that Grand National over a Mustang any day.
Especially in the 80s with those ugly ass Fox
If
bodies.
y'all haven't noticed, I am anti.
Well, you can find a T-type with that same engine.
Mr. Suburb said Chris Fix was an engineer. Really?
Oh.
I'd pick a GN over a Mustang. Really? Definitely.
No, I mean 390, not the 360. 390. Ford 390.
I was a Mustang guy, but love the G bodies. I had a few of them. Still have two. Control arms on a Honda Element. Chris Fix was a marine biologist. What the what?
He was. For real.
No
really?
kidding.
Yeah.
Look at that. Make some Subaru guy angry for selling ratchets or something.
Enjoy rebuilding transmission. Have a T400. Nice.
I did see his freaking ratchets. They're extendables. A 3-piece set.
I don't know. That dude just seems like perpetually angry about something.
Who? Chris?
No, was it Subaru?
I enjoy rebuilding.
Mr. Subaru.
Yeah. Mr. Subaru.
Mr. Subaru and Scotty Kilmer are the ones that always seem like they wake up in the morning and they didn't get their oatmeal and their coffee.
Stay safe, Chef.
Hey, you can Chris Fix thing. You can actually Google Chris Fix, and it talks about him being a marine biologist. That's he actually has that out on the web.
Damn.
I knew there was something fishy about him and his channel.
Yeah, it's not. Mr. Subaru didn't find that out. It wasn't. I mean, not that I don't disagree with you about him being angry. Of course, I'm angry sometimes too, but
Yeah,
you know.
but like all the videos I see of
Yeah,
his,
yeah.
it's like it's just him like
Damn.
talking shit on somebody else for
90-hour wins.
Chicago, the
some
winning
reason.
city.
I'm just
Who's that?
messing
Chris
with people.
Fix or Scotty?
Scotty boy, Scotty, that guy's a legend. I gotta love Scotty, and nobody can throw their hands around like Scotty.
Oh,
Did you ever watch
Chicago's only 3.5 hours away from me. That's crazy. That's
You
a
know,
lot of
you're-
wins.
years
You
ago?
want to know
Scotty-
why you don't buy this car?
Because I said so.
This is why. I'm going to tell you now.
Honda's going
Good
out
old
of
Scotty.
business. Everybody's been out of business on his channel. Have you not noticed that?
The what?
if you don't buy a
Everybody-
2006 Toyota Tacoma, your car's crap.
Scotty Kilmer,
Basically all I got out of him.
every motor vehicle company is going out of business. He does
Oh,
videos all the time.
Yeah.
Every-
yeah.
Too much
Did you,
horsepower.
did you ever
especially
see his
in-
live streams where he used to do it was a call in, well it was a type in, you know, you
Mhm.
question just like these guys are doing here, and he answered them and it was not bad, and then he went all weird on us.
Oh, he went weird.
I think he started drinking. He got married and started drinking.
Drinking.
Talking about Reese.
What he's actually trying to tell us is, you don't want to have a wife like mine. She's like this Honda. She.
Oh, I'm going to tell you around the same
That's
area.
good.
Reese.
That was good.
I will say though, Scotty is enjoyable to watch for entertainment.
Yes.
That's all. I mean, sometimes I'll just watch him just for a laugh. I mean, it's like
It's about all he's good for. It's just like,
the bottle
bro.
was
Like I'm not a mechanic, but some of the stuff he says is just like,
it's a little bit out there. Like you
like,
know,
all right, dude.
it's like watching conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Well, do you know,
But the
do
old
you know when
stuff-
he started promoting Seafoam for a while there? Do you know
Oh.
how many diesels that I
Whoa.
saw come into my shop, like come into my
Nice,
hands
Andy.
from
Have
people
fun.
putting
All right,
Seafoam
Andy.
into the
Yeah,
turbo?
you have a good time, brother.
He said he's gonna spank the old lady.
I think the Fiesta and Festiva were like $59.95 brand new.
No, they were 10K, the new
Chef.
ones from like 2014 and that.
Oh, none of
The
you guys
Pro
are from
Mazda
But it's
from
like
Southern
the
California,
Fiesta or
but
the
you guys don't. Do you
Festiva.
guys remember, or I don't know if you guys ever heard of Cal Worthington?
Uh-uh.
Oh
Uh,
my God, you gotta look it up. He was this used car salesman in Southern California, and dude, his lots or his commercials were crazy. It's like me and my dog here, and it'd be a freaking like tiger or some shit standing next to it.
Sounds like what's his name from Mancow Muller's brother down in Butler, Missouri, that has a car lot. He trades in sheep for cars and cattle.
Really?
He had his own TV show for a while. I can't think of what his name was, but he's got like a giant ape out in front, blown up,
Yeah,
and he'll have like stock trailers in there with animals in it, traded in. Like his motto is "There's nothing I won't trade in."
Wow.
yeah. It was kind of the same thing, but yeah, this guy is. Yeah, here, let me see.
And meanwhile, people
funny.
in the Middle East and, honey, we moved to America. I can trade the sheep for the car that you want. We go to America now with our sheep.
Oh, it was Cal Worthington and his dog Spot, and it would always be like a different animal.
That's
Ruben
funny.
Wallace, I have no idea. I want to say I heard there's been issues with the 6-cylinder in the Tundra.
That's the new Toyotas, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Uh,
not too sure though.
Well, they've always had problems with their 6 cylinders because they have the power of a 4-cylinder and use gas like an 8-cylinder.
I have a Probe GT. We did a transmission.
Ooh.
It had 4 transmission in it. Stamped right on.
I think they were a Mazda, weren't they?
Yep.
The Probe, yeah.
The 626s used to blow out the shock towers in the back. I don't know how many of
okay,
those.
so when Eagle was still around, Ford bought out Eagle, and then the Probe came out after they merged the Eagle with Ford, right?
Wasn't Eagle Jeep?
Might be burning up oil.
AMC.
Rachel.
Eagle was AMC. They were a manufacturer that used every manufacturer's part. This year, you had a Buick engine with a Ford transmission. That year, you had a Dodge transmission on a Ford. Like,
Damn,
But I mean,
shit.
the Eagle Talon though was bought out by Ford after it went bankrupt. So
Listen,
that's when the
That
Ford
was
Probe
that's
later
the
on
Mitsubishi,
came
right?
out.
Hey, can we address this comment that Fluffy just breezed over here a second ago? That ITC wants to eat my shoe.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, he's an engineer, bud. Where do you want me to mail my shoe to?
I mean, a
'Cause I wanna
biologist
see
isn't
that.
really an
You
engineer,
want some
though.
ranch with that or ketchup?
Whoa. Box bodies. That's a lot.
Engineers are intelligent till they get that little piece of paper. Then something happens after they get that piece of paper. I don't know what it is. Is it laced with something that saturates into their brains, or?
Oh,
Yeah, we should have them work on their own crap.
The Ranger, the same also. The Mazda B2000 and the Ranger.
Yeah, same vehicle.
those are
Exact
same
same
truck.
vehicle.
Yeah.
I didn't know Isuzu teamed up with Nissan.
Well,
What was
The
it?
Isuzu actually started with GM.
Oh, yeah,
I know, but
It's
there's. Oh
GM owned
no,
it.
I'm sorry. It's a Suzuki.
Okay, I'm gonna say yes. Suzuki I knew was with Nissan.
With
But
the
they were with GM for a long time too, because the
There was
Fireflies
GM
were
Suzuki?
Yeah,
Suzuki.
Suzuki's were Fireflies and the
Everybody was
Tracker,
talking
the
together.
Suzuki Tracker, and all that.
Oh.
But Suzuki was never really truly owned. GM bought into them for their manufacturing.
Oh, see, I knew Isuzu was part of GM. That's the only one I knew.
But
Shit, that
well,
was
Suzuki
probably a tornado,
Isuzu
but-
is the same company. They're both the same company.
Gosh, yeah.
Suzuki
Yeah.
is,
Really?
Eagle is-
Isuzu over in Asia is their heavy duty industry
Bring
stuff,
biological.
and Suzuki is their
Mustard.
passenger
Who
car.
said I prefer mustard?
Oh.
Is Suzuki even really around in the U.S. anymore?
Mitsubishi, the Eagle.
Isuzu's still being made here in the U.S.
They had
Suzuki's done, isn't it? Or-
Mitsubishi and Chrysler had the God, CP said he just worked on one.
What's that?
Big
Eagle, I
Cliff.
think, was.
Eagle was with Mitsubishi and Chrysler?
Mitsubishi
Yeah.
Oh, 3000 GT.
2000 GT. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dodge
That's
Stealth and
what-
Mitsubishi 2000 GT.
Mystery Science Theater 3000. Nobody
You
knows
want
about
Red
it.
Wing or Irish Setter? Ooh. Anyone have experience with 94?
Good old
Geo?
Red Wings, CP.
Yeah.
I keep hearing TDC
Love those
is
shoes.
not one. I have no idea. Anybody on this?
Anyone with experience with a 94 Geo Tracker installing distributor? I keep hearing TDC is number 4, not 1. It's been a long freaking time for me working on a Geo Tracker. Last time I worked on one of those was in 2000.
Well, dude, there's only 4. Like, how could it be that hard to find the TDC on that? It's only a 4-cylinder.
Yeah,
Which-
but I mean, if I remember right, it's usually the second one down. It's not in a regular order for the Geo.
For the 4, not the 1. I don't know what they mean.
4, not 1.
Well, see,
He's looking for
see,
TDC.
the engine that was in the Geo Tracker was originally made for marine applications, and that's why there's a misunderstanding about it.
Oh. Eagle telling
Marine engines were designed to do what? Drive which direction?
Backwards.
Forward.
Oh,
So when they go and convert it to go the other way, then your firing order is backwards.
Yeah, but not all marine engines do that. Not all marine, because Mercury's use a lot of GM engines, and they use just the standard drives on them. I've actually put in a Mercury engine in a car.
Have any of y'all seen the new Mercury Marine? Actually, Mercury's new engine. The thing's taller than I am, and I'm almost 6 feet.
Jesus.
Well, guys,
Oh,
I hate
for
to
a
cut it off, but I have to go. Yeah,
What time
it's
is it there,
12:30.
Fluffy?
12:30. 12:30. I have work
Yeah,
in the
Okay,
morning.
we're the same time.
Yeah. Everybody, thank y'all for coming through. I want to
This was
point
fun.
out some let's see. We had a few donations. Like I said, I'm gonna start mentioning them. John of Some Trade joined memberships. So thank you, John. DLC had a donation up in there. Thank you, DLC. And I believe that was it. Yeah. So thank y'all all for sitting through us rambling. Having conversations.
Hey, don't forget to go check out Lace's video he just dropped.
Yeah, he just did another video.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
While
I
we've
actually
been on
started
the
to think
stream,
that-
it popped up on my thing.
I'm starting to think Lakes actually lives in the shop that he works at. I don't think he actually goes
I
home.
don't ever get notifications.
Oh, I just got it now.
If you ever think of leaving the field, don't be scared to leave. Oh no, I can't. I can't leave. That's all I know.
Joe,
That's
go
the-
home. Right?
Just left GM.
Go
Hey,
home.
our shops is our home. I do at least 11 hours minimum.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. We are out of here.
Peace,
All right.
bud.
You have a good night, all y'all.
Oh, yes. All right.
Bye from
We'll see y'all
Canada.
Tuesday. Yeah, we'll see y'all Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Yep. Bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.